294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting, Montgomery.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
It'll happen someday. She'll forget about you. She'll forget about all your lies for her own slice of truth.
Welcome into the program, everybody. I'm your host, Joey Clark.
I swear I miss you.
And are we happy?
From happy days past.
Are we happy the election's over, folks? Because I'm happy about it. Thank God for another beautiful day, though it is stormy outside. Hopefully it'll be a beautiful show, and Montgomery needs a new mayor. Yeah, I think that's right. Do we need a new mayor here in Montgomery? Yes, we need a new mayor here in Montgomery, Alabama. Joining us to talk about the election results last night. These primary runoffs, we have the one, the only Jeff Poore. Jeff, how are you, sir?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for being here. So what's your, just main headline takeaway of last night?
Everything went as we should have expected it, despite the polling, despite some of the last-ditch sort of Hail Mary political tactics that May 19th should have been what steered our beliefs of what the outcome would be. There may have been some doubts along the way. But it's just you don't see big swings from one election to the other. It happens. Robert Bentley beating Bradley Byrne in 2010 was kind of a surprise. I'd say Barry Moore beating Jeff Coleman in 2020. Gary Palmer beating Paul DeMarco in 2014. Things like that happen, but they're anomalies. They don't always happen, and there was no reason to think that, at least on two races on the ballot, the way a lot of people were kind of thinking that Wes Allen and Jared Hudson were going to come out ahead.
Yeah, and for folks who haven't looked at the news at all, maybe just hop in the truck, Barry Moore beat Jared Hudson. Katherine Robertson won the AG's runoff race. John Wahl won the lieutenant governor race. And Jim Zeigler knocked off an incumbent there on the Alabama Public Service Commission, knocked off a Beeker. So, go ahead. About
that race, it was a 2-point race. I thought Zeigler would have won by a lot more. There's a lot of angst out there about the Public Service Commission. He was seen as the guy who was going to come in and at least be the bull in the china shop to a corrupt bureaucracy. And Chris Beeker made it closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, but it's I think that's a dose of what the PSC needs after they got what they wanted this last legislative session. Give them a little bit of Jim Zeigler.
Yeah, but like I said, Zeigler probably should have. They dumped a bunch of money at the last minute on Beeker's behalf, but Zeigler probably should have won that race. Just if they hadn't done that by 5 to 10 points.
No, and it looks like. I'll say it outright. Yesterday, when my op-ed dropped, I mean, talk about easy to write. Just quote yourself from the radio show. When I saw Senator Britt's response about what her lane was, I'm like, oh, Barry's going to win. And it just seemed like, okay, there's something to that. How do you think our current junior will-be senior senator will work with now going to be the presumed senator next, junior Senator Barry Moore?
I mean, I think from the get-go that Barry Moore probably wouldn't have been her first choice. That's just, they got two very different philosophies about Congress, about the U.S. Senate, but it's sort of a historical template for Alabama. We'll always talk about Shelby and Sessions. Richard Shelby played the D.C. game. Shelby checked the boxes on the issues, but those weren't championing. Those weren't his reason for being there. It was to bring in money for UAB or the port or whatever, some highway project or something of that sort. And then you had Jeff Sessions, who would give these. He played within the system. He didn't do like a Ted Cruz or a Rand Paul, but he played within the system. But it was committee work. It was getting welfare reform. It was drawing attention to immigration. He was the sort of the godfather of the whole Trump movement. I mean, the Sessions had been talking about the things that Trump ran on for years in 2016, and that's important to the politics.
Yeah.
It may not result in big votes and big legislation, but it does matter in elections, and that's what I think he captured the essence of that. And you look to this day, guys who were working at Jeff Sessions' office in 2012, Stephen Miller, for example, there's others, but are now high-ranking administration officials for policy. And, as much as we're going to look at what Jeff Sessions did and say, well, he didn't really pass many bills or whatever, but, that in some ways that has more of a lasting impact in, bringing home the bacon.
Well, and there's that famous case where I believe it was a sit-down with Steve Bannon, Stephen Miller, and Jeff Sessions, and Sessions was making it clear, I ain't running for president, but I think somebody with what I've been laying out there could win. And I know Bannon and Miller have been kicking it around, and it is weird. Like, I just didn't know at the time when Stephen Miller would get in touch with all the radio shows to get Senator Sessions on, but that guy had vision for days. Apparently, when he was at Duke, Stephen Miller said, yeah, I'm going to work for President of the United States one day.
Stephen Miller, and where he really cut his teeth, and this is a flashback, man. Go back and look at the Duke lacrosse saga.
Yeah, I mean, he was dogged in the defense of that.
Yeah, and Stephen Miller has been doing this for decades now, and I got to know him personally when he worked for Sessions. He was out there running the comms for the committee, making sure that the usual, it was sort of conservative media back then. There wasn't really, not even Fox was touching the stuff Sessions was doing. Fox News, they did come in later when Trump got involved, but Trump looked at it. And he saw winning issues there, and he made them his own.
Well, and now as we go down this rabbit hole, I really do, because I gave him a hard time at the time, and I kind of stand by what I said. But it's a shame that Jeff Sessions didn't. I wish he hadn't that what I call the Kislyak screw job that took him and General Flynn out. I wish that just hadn't happened, because I think he would have been a great U.S. Attorney General if he hadn't been just out of the gate hamstrung that way.
Yeah, and it's naivety on his part. They were setting these guys up to do this, and like I said, Jeff Sessions, he's a respect for the institution. And this is what ended up being his downfall, was he's an institutionalist, and he looked at it, and they had him dead to right on, or at least in his mind, on maybe some conflicts of interest in trying to uphold what the Department of Justice was. And he thought he was doing the honorable thing, but the problem was the people who were pushing him to do the honorable thing were acting in a dishonorable way. And you can't have two sets of playbooks. You can't have two rule books, and you're going to always take the high ground while your opponents are going to take, whatever, achieve a victory by whatever means necessary. And maybe he would have been better suited in another cabinet role. But at DOJ, the knives are out for him, and they got him early.
And also, sitting here in 2026, especially the point you just made about how lawfare is used back and forth by both sides, man, a decade later, what a different country, and just a different conversation in general.
Well, and eventually the right was going to catch up on the lawfare. Eventually. I mean, these guys, they may have been out in front on the lawfare, but at some point, the president's going to appoint the judges. And, it still comes down to the elections. You may be able to slow it down, but you're not going to stop it. And that's just, I think, the left's got that problem now where, just for example, look at Dobbs. And that was lawfare. That's lawfare 101. They were trying to nibble around the edges. The state of Mississippi was. and this abortion clinic sues, and instead of getting the outcome to keep the pendulum from swinging in its natural direction, they tried to stop it through lawfare, and what they got in return, they got a Roe v. Wade overturned. And that's not what it is. The same with the redistricting.
Yep.
The Voting Rights Act. You come into Alabama, you try to go into Louisiana, you try to steal a congressional seat, you try to overplay your hand, and then the exact opposite happens, and you're going to get a 7-0 map. You're going to go from 6-1, everybody was kind of content with it, to 5-2 for one congressional cycle, and then back to 6-1 and probably 7-0 when it's all said and done. That the lawfare game may get you an early victory, but when it gets reevaluated, these sort of trick plays you've been running for decades are no longer applicable. Well, you're not going to be able to run them ever again.
Absolutely. And it's, like I said, what a change in the last 10 years, and the effectiveness of a lot of the lawfare has been remarkable to behold. But I want to shift gears here. I mentioned this to you on your show this morning. When I look at, say, the two senators, Britt and now presumed Moore, and real quick, am I being presumptuous? For instance, is John Wahl going to have a hard time with Philip Insler in November?
No, I don't think so. I think where you want to look, maybe more locally, and I said this, I think Huntsville's in trouble for Republicans. They gotta figure something out up there, but that's worth a Senate seat, state Senate seat. It's certainly worth a House seat. And I would say this: watch that congressional election. Now, it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna flip, but it's gonna be close. It's gonna be something Dale Strong's gonna have to work for in AL5.
Oh, yeah.
They went with the Democrats did something they haven't done nationwide, and they went with the least abrasive, crazy candidate in that Democratic primary yesterday up there with a guy named Andrew Sneed, who's kind of like Parker Griffith light, kitchen table issues, Doug Jones light. I don't think he's going to beat Dale Strong, but I think he's going to have to Dale Strong can't stay at home and just collect checks and maybe run a few ads. He's going to have to run.
Well, that's going to be the irony, too, down the road. If, say, Tuberville coming in and this new crop of folks coming in actually does, really great things and the economy booms and more people move to Alabama, move to Huntsville, move to Birmingham, God forbid they move more people to Montgomery. That would be nice to see, actually go in the right direction. But then you have down a couple cycles from there, a real shot, I think, for a lot of folks who might move in and say, you know what, I'm a little more liberal, especially living in a city. And so there's hope down the road for Democrats. I'm just presuming, though, everybody who won these Republican primaries is going to end up in that position after November.
Yeah, I think so. If Doug Jones is beating Tommy Tuberville for governor, there's bigger problems. Way bigger problems.
Yeah, that's worse than the raccoon.
Alabama.
Right.
And this isn't Doug Jones versus Roy Moore 2017. There's more on the ballot. This isn't an isolated middle of December special election off cycle when the anti-Trumpers are really, really fired up. This is a mainstream election where you'll have people who will just show up and they will vote straight ticket and they won't even know who the candidates are.
So if I presume Barry Moore is going to be the next junior senator, you'll have Senator Britt at the same position. I think both of those two people have unique, good relationships with the current White House, which bodes well for Alabama. I don't think there was worry, I think, with Shelby retiring and with all the turnover, including Tuberville kind of coming out of nowhere, we wouldn't have the same pull as the state has always had up there in the United States Senate. But I suspect that pull will still exist to some degree. And Trump's only going to be around, though, for another couple years. But it seems to me the 2028 has already begun when I'm looking at this media tour by J.D. Vance.
It has. And, this is what you do, right? Get ready to run national election. You write the memoir. You go on a book tour. You make sure everybody knows you're vice president. And it's a time before people start to run. January will be here before you know it, and that's when you see a lot of presidential campaigns kick off in Iowa or kick off in New Hampshire. You get ready for that Iowa straw poll or the New Hampshire, they just have these events that you got to position yourself to make it look like you're a contender because you've got to raise a lot of money to run for office anywhere. But president, you got to have just You got to have this uncanny ability to just get people just to mail you money and send you money. And I think you have to prove yourself very, very early in a presidential cycle.
Well, and if you see that continuation, say it's a Vance Rubio ticket, I don't see anybody on the Democratic side knocking that down unless, I guess, stranger things have happened. And I've warned my own audience, don't, discount the idea of a president AOC. The nation's crazy at times. People said Trump will never happen, but you never know what's going to happen. But that seems like such a strong ticket. And it seems like the folks here in this state have great relationships with both, like this continuation of essentially the Trump agenda, but with a younger generation in charge. I mean, you could really reshape the country truly. Talk about Supreme Court just down the line. This next 2028 is massive for shaping the future.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if I had to bet today, I still feel like the Democrats are going to have an edge. I mean, there's a pendulum that just kind of swings back and forth. And it was a good run up to this side of the pendulum swing. It's going to swing in that direction. The one thing that may harm Democrats, they haven't had a civil war.
Mm-hmm.
They have not had a competitive Democratic presidential primary since 2008. It'll be 20 years before that, since that has happened. Because the fix has always been in. Obama, obviously, an incumbent. Hillary Clinton, they're stacking the deck against Bernie Sanders and the other candidates. And then you get 4 years later, Joe Biden, and that was weird. I mean, like, Iowa gets blown out in New Hampshire and Iowa, and somehow Peter Buttigieg runs out of money at the last minute. Biden wins South Carolina and just cruises on the way. I mean, like, the fix was in there.
Clyburn makes a call at it. Everybody drops out. It's nuts.
Yeah. And then I think this last go around, yeah, sure, Biden was the incumbent, but if Biden doesn't hold on through with the presumptive nominee status through the summer, and you have a competitive primary, curious. No way, Kamala Harris is going to be the nominee. I don't, because she's such a bad candidate. She's a bad campaigner. She checks boxes on paper. That's how she got to where she was as vice president. And she just doesn't have the desire to get out and do what you got to do to win a presidential election. I'd say she's kind of lazy. And that's always been a complaint about her as a candidate. And she was not going to win a Democratic primary, but they had to figure out a way to anoint her. So here we are. You've delayed it. Inevitably, you're going to have this battle of ideas. And the problem you have with the Democratic Party, the ones who would vote Democrat are not a reflection of those who decide who the nominee is. The nominee, guys, you ever been to a Democratic National Convention? It is Looney Tunes. It is radical. They chant death to Jesus or whatever on the floor of the DNC. It's just like it is not a mainstream party at its core. Now, like I said, I feel like Republicans, people will be ready for a change because the pendulum just swings back and forth. But if they let the enthusiasm and the anti-Trump fever and the penis lady costume-wearing types pick their nominee, they can lose this.
Yeah, I think they could. I've always thought that the voice, maybe it's me being biased, being an Alabamian, but I think a voice from the South who is kind of reasonable, but can still appeal. Like, I think that might be the future of the Democrats if it's somebody with enough money and, of course, the X factor and the charisma factor. But let's end on this real quick. Like, focus in on these midterms coming up. I've been saying since the beginning of this week, America's back, baby. And I have no detailed evidence other than there does seem to be a vibe shift with this peace deal. It looks like, all the talk around a deal nobody's seen but the actual administration and a few foreigners. But the peace deal, ending this war, oil prices at least coming down, gas prices soon to follow. And then, I don't know, just the atmosphere of not just the UFC event, but everything going on this weekend. It does seem like, okay, just in time for July, it seems the nation's turning a corner, in particular the story Trump and team want to tell.
Yeah, I think if gas prices go down, that's really the linchpin. You get gas prices down, consumer sentiment goes up, people feel good about where they are. We're a commercialized society. I mean, we just are what we are as Americans, and I think feeling better about the economy and not really, feeling better than you did a year ago will help Republicans. Will it come in time? Is the big question for the midterms. It's just there's just the one unifying principle out there. It's just anti-Trump mania, and that's still going to be tough for Republicans to deal with.
Yeah, and I guess, well, thank God that I live in Alabama, because sometimes I look at the stuff outside my bubble, and I just shake my head at where this nation's gone in certain parts of it. And, thank God for these Europeans discovering the American South as opposed to just looking at Los Angeles and New York. This has been a fun run. That's another thing. It's maybe just feel great about the country, seeing Frenchmen and Japanese folks and Germans and just everybody having a great time, especially in Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah, and it's the Freddie phenomenon will live forever. But the one anomaly here for those of you following that, the British are not really amped up to be here, and that's kind of interesting that you have all these walks of life from Europe, but the Brits are like they're the ones complaining the most about the Americanization of football.
Oh yeah, well, I thought they were worried that it wasn't Islamic enough.
Probably that too. We're not multicultural enough, at least.
Right. We need more gangs doing what the. Yeah, I don't need to go down that road. But crazy stuff happening in the UK. Well, I always appreciate it, Jeff. If folks want to check out your work, what you're working on, how can they do so?
X.com/Jeff_Poor.
Appreciate it, man. Talk again next week.
All right. Thank you.
Again, folks, Jeff Poor, host of the Jeff Poor Show and editor in chief there at 1819news.com. Always appreciate his time. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services, and there at Pest Pro, Ashley and that great team are ready to help you out with, any and all of your pest control needs. With all this rain, and then you mix that in with the heat and humidity, mosquitoes are alive, baby. They're breeding, and they're little demons. You don't want them, not just annoying you, but maybe even making you sick, just causing you all sorts of a hassle. If you're trying to enjoy your backyard, hang out on the back porch by the pool. Maybe you're a more front porch person. You like to hang out on the rocking chair or the swing. They can help you get rid of the mosquito problem. Don't use candles. Don't spray yourself with all that aerosol. No, get the yard treated directly. What you're going to find are no mosquitoes. And they can come when it's mosquito season. And so in the meantime, why not have Pest Pro take care of the rest of your pest control needs with this great monthly subscription model they have, and add on top of that when the time is right, like right now, mosquito treatment. They can really do it all there at Pest Pro, and they're great local folks that have been growing like crazy for the last 5-6 years. It's because they're just that good and, easy to work with. So check out Pest Pro Services today. You can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com or search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces or call them direct, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. And be sure to tell them that Joey, that fella on the radio, sent you. We'll be right back after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going. But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. 5 reasons to get a home inspection before you close on a home. Homeowners buying their first home or their 10th home still need a home inspection performed. First, you will find out firsthand the true condition of the home, the age and state of the heating and air, the roof, electrical, and plumbing as of the date of inspection. Second, it may give you the ability to renegotiate repairs that the seller will end up paying for before closing. Third, if the results show that the repairs would be too costly, then you can opt out of the contract without losing your earnest money. Fourth, the age and state of the systems will indicate what shape the rest of the house might be in and give you the option to opt out of the transaction or renegotiate terms. Fifth, knowing what needs to be done to the house will allow you the opportunity to update the home properly to your taste. For a list of the best home inspectors in the area, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 334-221-2883 or 551-0225. The Goodson Group.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm Bill. You called about some breaker stripping?
Oh, yes, Bill. My brother-in-law says you can do almost anything.
That's me. Not much I hadn't seen.
Do you really want someone who does almost anything in your electric box? Think about that, because each year thousands of home fires are caused by faulty wiring. That's why you want a professional, like the electricians at Crosby Electric.
Bill, how's it going? Bill, ooh, are you okay?
Oh, yeah, well, I didn't really need my eyebrows anyway.
At Crosby Electric, all technicians undergo rigorous safety training, as well as background checks, drug testing, and continuing education.
Bill, you think maybe I should call a real electrician?
No, these little slip-ups happen. Everybody does it.
Really?
No, not really. When you need professional electric work, or you just like someone to assess your home for safety, call the experts at Crosby Electric, 272-2085, or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
Prattville is going big this 4th of July with a concert and drone show on July 3rd and all your annual favorites on July 4th. Start celebrating early with our America 250th Cruise-In on June 20th. Enjoy classic cars at 4 p.m. and a concert featuring the Blackbird Pickers at 6 p.m. at the Lyric at Esther's. Then join us on June 28th at 3 p.m. at the Doster Community Center for patriotic performances by the Community Chorus and Pops Community Band. Learn more at prattvilleal.gov.
At Montgomery Men's Health, we saw a bunch of patients last month. Almost none came because of an ad. They came because something happened. A fight with a wife who finally said, "Get help." A breakup. A new relationship that made them aware of things they used to ignore. A photo a friend tagged them in. One guy said he just stared at himself in the mirror. And that was enough. If today's your day, call right now. 334-440-3663. I'm Dr. Smith, urologist and advisor to Montgomery Men's Health. Built on almost 15 years of treating men in Alabama, one patient at a time. Dedicated to ED, low T, and male performance. Here's what happens when you call. We book you this week. We'll get a lab in an hour. For ED, we walk you through your real options at the same visit. A plan before you leave. Don't let today turn into next year. Call now. 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Though it has yet to be signed and the details are being kept under wraps, the U.S.-Iran deal is already having an impact on oil prices. They're falling. Brent crude is trading below $80 per barrel on optimism that Iran will quickly open the Strait of Hormuz, the U.S.-Iran agreement to be formally signed Friday in Geneva. Ever since Kevin Warsh was nominated by President Trump in January to lead the Federal Reserve, one question has lingered. Will he seek to raise interest rates to tame inflation or cut them, as the president has long demanded? Today, Warsh may provide the first hints of an answer when he oversees his first Fed policy meeting as chairman. Micron rose 3.5% overnight after losing more than 6% yesterday. Intel jumped 3.1%, taking back some of its 8.5% drop the day before. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Well, hi, everybody. We're going to be radar watching for the next few days with the potential for excessive rainfall and flooding. Periods of rain and thunderstorms will continue in the forecast today, tonight, actually Thursday and Friday as well. Our weather app will keep you on top of the action with instant push notifications for any flooding alerts, plus radar and future radar. It's free in the App Store. Just search Rich Thomas Weather. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Life's a beach with an ASE loan financing the fun you deserve. It's your summer, your way. ASE has the funds. Apply online or at any of our 9 locations.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
Federally insured by NCUA.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Back when I always thought love would always last. Oh, I hope heaven. Oh, I hope heaven. Finds you.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. And I have to say, folks, my frustration, the shoe is now on the other foot. What am I talking about? Or there's this announcement that the Trump administration has gotten a peace deal with the Iranians. And as this war began, you had a lot of the more explicitly non-interventionist, a lot of my old libertarian buddies, who I greatly respect, but they were being nuts about this war even breaking out. And if you genuinely feel that way, if you've been against every war, even when the winds of war came blowing in, God love you. I don't hate you for that. But I was also sitting here thinking, like, I don't think Trump's gone full George W. Bush. I don't think that's the plan. And there were signs, maybe you could make the argument, well, but look how he's buddies with Mark Levin and all this stuff. Like, Constitution of the United States of America. Like, yeah, I know. Look at all his donors and how much he seems to just be doing Israel. He's doing Israel's bidding and all this stuff. Great, yeah. But now the shoe's on the other foot. Because Trump, again, is not a full Ron Paul guy, but he ain't George W. Bush either. And now they've got this deal. What do we got? We got the usual media organs, press organs, in particular Fox News bringing on Mike Pence. CNN doing the same thing. You got the New York Post blowing them up. All the usual rags saying, well, this is just a huge gift to the Iranians. What, y'all just want war, more war? Forever and forever? I guess old habits die hard after 20 years of bloodlust. You got your war. He decimated their military. He decimated their nuclear program. They've now got a deal to open up the Strait of Hormuz. And you're pissed off because if the Iranians follow through, if they follow through, then the Emiratis will be able to fund, say, infrastructure there in that country? I'm just tired of the different extremes trying to control the conversation. What's honestly beautiful about what Trump and team have done is they've split the difference. They've somehow split the baby here and done it quite well. I've been praying for peace since the beginning of this thing. Every day. And I'm happy to see peace brought about. I was starting to worry this was dragging on too long. It's always been my main concern. Like, I get why you did it. Maybe if I was in that chair, I wouldn't have pulled that trigger. But you know what? I'm not in that chair. And so many of us aren't in that chair. We're not in the Situation Room. And what we have are a lot of folks that don't have to sit in that chair, that are used to being able to sway and whisper in the ear of the man who is. But not with this guy. He seems to be going his own way. So the frustration was with the folks freaking out over, we even got into this. And now the frustration is going to be with the folks who say, well, we need to go even further. So how many more people do you want to kill? Until whatever it takes, kind of like Biden and them with Ukraine and Russia. Whatever it takes, as long as it takes. So you had the vice president selling this thing to the public, while you've got the usual mouthpieces out there saying, well, I mean, this is just another gift. This is like the Obama deal. This is the Vance deal. This is it's like a hillbilly Obama deal. Which is just, let me just outright say it. I'm tired of the Israel First caucus driving American foreign policy. You can stump for who you want. You can love for who you want. But I'm tired of them acting like they get to run the show on everything. And they will belittle and destroy the reputation of anybody that stands in their way. And they know they can't do it with Trump. Because Trump's something, well, he's got a little more. But what they're going to do is they'll do it with Vance. They'll do it with anybody they can see some angle. And it's insane. It's the same folks that were pissed off with Trump's Gaza deal. Same folks pissed off unless, we go full hog. Again, maybe the wrong term talking about the Middle East, but you go full hog and you kill everybody in Iran, right? Just nuke them, right? Just go ahead, go crazy. Yeah. I just wanted to let out my frustration because, again, it went from one extreme to the other, being annoyed with Trump, and maybe that's why Trump and team, at least I hope and pray, are going to succeed in bringing about not just peace, but a brand new Middle East. We'll see. Time always tells. And, you never know. You take your chances. You stick your neck out there and you try to make a deal and make it happen quickly. But it does seem like Trump and team have, changed the way they go about American foreign policy. It's not George W. Bush. It's not full non-interventionist Ron Paul. It's not the Pope. The Pope is not running anything in terms of American foreign policy. Which, by the way, the Pope came out today, said, I really love the peace deal. Like, yeah, there you go. That's pretty consistent from the Holy Father. So, Trump's been all over the place at the G7, having a lot of fun going back and forth about the G7. And in particular, this deal. But I want to start first with the vice president. And this is the vice president, J.D. Vance, on with Megyn Kelly. And he's talking about those exact folks I was just ranting about. Now let's listen in to the vice president. I think he makes a fantastic point here about, how do you actually win and build coalitions on a practical basis? Let's listen in.
A lot of people have been saying that they feel blackpilled by the whole experience. I'm just out. And I have been trying to make the point that you can't do that, right?
No,
you got to stay.
That's right.
But realistically, because after these midterms are over.
Can I make one more point about this, Megan? This is very important. I'm sorry to interrupt, but.
No, it is.
So look, the coalition that made Donald Trump the president of the United States and J.D. Vance, the vice president of the United States, people have to remember this. It was Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson and Joe Rogan. It was also Mark Levin. It was also a lot of people like John Podhoretz who want a more aggressive foreign policy. What I think is important, I'm never going to say that John Podhoretz is not welcome in the Republican Party. He is. But just as he's disappointed right now, sometimes other people are going to be disappointed at other times. You can't just quit politics because the leader of a country of 330 million people makes a decision you disagree with.
Amen. And, it's easy to quit when you don't actually have any stakes in the game other than maybe your clicks. In fact, I don't think that's necessarily a bad decision. There are a lot of people right now online and who are in the political space that they don't have to be. They could go do something else with life. And I think God love you folks. Truly. I'm envious of you. I might join you before too long. Where if I didn't have to sit here and look at this news cycle every day, I can instead just focus my time, my energy, my mind, heart, and strength on something else other than who's up, who's down in the big political game. Sounds pretty nice. But when it comes to actually being in the game and playing it, you have to understand that you're not going to get everything you want. In fact, this is what good leaders will understand. It's what I would hope that Coach Tuberville will say to the big mules in this state. Look, you all provide important services to the state of Alabama. You have an outsized role. Yes, you have a lot of influence, but you can't get everything you want. And you're never going to go full populace either. You can say to the people, no, we're not going to continue. We're not going to tear down Alabama Power or something like that. It's not how it works. The game is trying to take a broad, wide coalition, and it gets even more complicated on the national level. And sometimes you got to knock heads together. Sometimes you got to piss off this wing or that wing. But you get the job done at the end of the day. And it's just interesting in this day and age of how performative everything is. And how everything is in one ear, out the other, just grab attention, all sizzle without the steak. That there are some folks, like Trump, who understands the sizzle and providing the steak. But it does seem like 2028 started early because J.D. Vance is on this book tour. So it's not just selling this deal, this Iran deal. It's also being on The View, being on Fox and Friends, being on Gutfeld's show, being on Megyn Kelly's show. Heck, JD, you're welcome on this show. I'll read your book. I'm going to read it anyway. I'd love to talk about faith with JD Vance. But it's fascinating how this is like a soft 2028 JD Vance for president campaign launch. Well, let's listen in to Fox and Friends asking the question about the elephant in
I'll
the room.
decide after the midterms. No doubt the president will be supportive. You're 41 years old. Donald Trump has said, remember when he asked the crowd a month ago, he said, do you want JD Vance? Do you want Marco? And everyone responded. And he said, I think they might make they might make good running mates together and be on the same ticket. Here he is talking about the two of you running together. Listen to this.
I study to see if they like each other. I just find it interesting. You know, it's life. It's big time stuff. I watch them together. They get along great. They have a good relationship. They're sort of similar in a lot of ways, but they're very talented. And I think the two of them running together as a team would be very unbeatable.
Now, at one point, Secretary Rubio, I should say, said at one point that he wouldn't run if he knew you were going to make the decision to run. Where does this stand now?
It stands where we're all focused on the job in front of us. I think the president loves to stir the pot a little bit, and the president loves the entertainment of it. Of course he does. This is what I joked earlier that, does it really sound like the president of the United States to run a televised program for who would be his next apprentice, right? That's what the president does, and he loves that. And it does make this whole thing fun. But fundamentally, I think Marco, me, the entire cabinet, we're just focused on doing a good job. And the thing I hate about politicians and politics writ large is it sometimes seems like in the past, I've only been in politics for 3 years. You elect somebody to do a job, and instead of doing their job, they're worried about the next job. What I said when I got this job is, I just want to do a good job at this thing that I have. And if that happens, the politics will take care of itself. We're only a year and a half into this administration, right? There's so much that we're accomplishing for the American people. Let's do that. Let's win the midterms, and then we can talk about what happens in 28.
Mr. Vice President.
I'll decide.
That's a perfect answer if you're running for president. While hawking your book and talking about all the major things you're accomplishing, the administration's accomplishing, defending the president on this deal, then you could say, well, you don't say, no, I'm not running and I haven't thought about it, but say, let's just focus on the thing at hand. So it puts the idea in people's mind without it being too obvious that you're grasping or ambitious or something, but you can tell, man. Just the amount of appearances this guy did yesterday. It's remarkable. But Trump also, just the Energizer Bunny, man. Doesn't stop, won't stop. There's this one moment where he was late to the big meeting, the G7 meeting, which I'm sorry, this table, like they have all these European leaders sitting around this white table. It looks like somebody's labia fell out. And Trump walked in late. Because, he's president and he can do that. And this is what he said. This is what happened.
Hello, I'm the boss. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, he stopped at the head of the table and just said, I'm the boss.
Hello, I'm the boss. How are you?
Yeah. No, and what's fascinating to watch is, especially folks on the international stage, getting used to the fact, well, he is who he is. He's going to do what he's going to do. And he's not changing. And you're not getting rid of him. Though y'all tried every trick in the book to get rid of him. But it seems like at this point, Trump is in his element. But here he is before there was a big press conference at the end of the G7 meeting. Here's Trump talking about just this idea of, you never know. You got to roll the dice, see where things go. Let's listen in to the president at the G7 meeting.
Amazing. I've done them all my life. I've gone into deals that were 100% and they don't happen. I've gone into deals that there was no chance of getting them done, and it happens, and they happen easily. So you never know with deals, do you? But you're going to find out pretty soon. I think it'll be done. They want to sign. They want to get back to a normal life. We hit them very hard. Don't forget, people talk about when this started. This didn't start 3-4 months ago. This started years ago when I took out Soleimani. That was a big event. There are those that say it was the biggest event in the Middle East in 50 years. So we took him out, and they became a much different country. And then I terminated the JCPOA. That's Barack Hussein Obama's horrible deal that gave them a nuclear weapon. And I terminated it, and I stopped it. And then I stopped it a second time with the B-2 bombers. And these are all major events in the history of the world, in my opinion, because it prevented them from having a nuclear weapon. And now we're going to do it again, and we're going to see how it works out. So this is a memorandum of understanding, but it's a very strong one. This isn't just like a 2-paragraph. This is a long, pretty detailed memorandum that goes into a regular contract. I would think they would do it. If they don't, then that's okay. We'll have to start the process again. And we don't lose. We have the greatest military in the world. We had the greatest blockade. The naval blockade was 100% effective. And again, they have no Navy, they have no Air Force, all bombed out. I don't want to say the leaders, but first level of leader, gone. Second level of leaders, gone. Some of the third level of leaders, gone. And they want to make a deal. They are so ready to make a deal. Yeah.
And it's one thing, again, people from all sides hitting him. Oh, this deal, like they haven't even seen the deal, and yet they're already characterizing the deal. And of course, the hawks are, the neocons on, the Israel firsters are. But Barack Obama's hitting him on this deal, of course, because, well, Trump's hitting him on his Iran deal. So Barack Obama was already pouring all sorts of cold water all over this. Well, here was Trump at the G7, knowing that Obama had put out that criticism already.
Like, oh my, look at this money he's giving us. He tried to bribe his way out. I didn't do that.
He's talking about Obama.
Nobody mentions that. 1.7 billion and hundreds of millions of dollars. They tried to bribe their way out of it. And you know what the Iranians did? They laughed at Obama and they said he's a stupid son of a bitch. Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
It's a heck of a note to end on. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. With over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Someday I'll call you. Someday we'll try to reconcile all the days that we let slip by. I'll try to forgive you, but I'll never forget
Joey Clark.
Welcome back, folks. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Let's see if this is on line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Ted.
Hey, Ted.
I was calling just to give you my perspective on this deal.
Yeah.
I've been watching the war since day one with Iran, and this deal is just like the signing will make it for negotiations. Then they'll start to talk. But Iran had on TV the other night their parliament. It was either their days are different than ours. They had a parliament, and the IRGC had a big meeting, and they're expecting $12 billion in assets unfrozen for the signing Friday, which I can't see Trump doing because he'll be like Obama and Biden. And then they said they had a big meeting. As long as their leader is living, they'll never, never, never give up their nuclear, so I don't see none of this happening. They just lead them on for, like Pakistan let them on, and then they let them on again, and I see nothing happening, but that's my opinion.
No, if they do that, then they're going to get bombed again, and I would just say that they're going to.
That's what they want.
They're going to say what they're going to say.
That's what they want, though. They says as long as they're living, nobody will get the nuclear. They talked about starting slaughtering the civilians again and stuff.
And where did you see this?
On TV, a big parliament meeting. It's in Iran, and then it's sub-broadcast with the words in for English.
Mm-hmm.
And then it shows all the leaders who got killed so far that Israel assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
Watch it every day since day one, but I can't see us happening, but that's my opinion.
No, I mean,
we'll see.
Happy to have that opinion, but we will see.
We will know Friday.
Yeah.
I look for it's going to take Israel and whoever boots on the ground to finish it, though. I'm almost sure of that. They're diehards.
Yeah, well, no,
But,
they're upset with this deal at this point.
Oh, they think he's opening the Hormuz. They think they're going to run it and charge tolls at that big parliamentary meeting. You know, nothing's. But that's just my opinion.
Okay.
That nothing's going to happen. Well, I guess we'll live to see about it.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate the call, man. Appreciate your input.
Hey, we'll know Friday.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, have a good one. Bye.
You too. 272-9228. Yeah, and I'm happy to see y'all like disagreements on this. But my frustration, my ranting earlier was about the usual suspects on one side or the other of these questions of war and peace. We'll see Friday. I think that's a good thing that we can wait on. What did Trump say a few weeks back? I hear a lot of chirping from the media and from hawks and doves and all sorts of folks and even from the Pope. But, you know, all that chirping, maybe you should just sit back, relax. Everything will work out. It always does. Hey, you could say that's insane. But it ain't the worst thing to hope for. This part of the program brought to you by Invista Advisors, and they're at Invista Advisors. Austin Baranko and that great team. Of course, Austin runs the brokerage desk there. Of course, Brant McDonald, who you've heard for years with Greg Udell, is the chief strategist. He's the chief there, essentially. And they can help you, of course, with your assets, managing your investments, managing your stocks, and any other assets that you might need, well, management for. And, of course, they could also help you, though, beyond just the brokerage, just that stock portfolio, but planning in general. Maybe you're just beginning a family. Maybe you're in the middle of life and a lot of your money's caught up in a small business, or you're trying to manage a nonprofit and you're having a little tough time as it's grown and found success. Or it could be you want to make sure end-of-life concerns are all buttoned up. Well, they can help you there across the board at Invista Advisors, all sorts of different types of experts with different disciplines and expertise there at Invista that work together. So if you're looking, again, for financial advice, financial planning, check out Invista Advisors today. Just call them direct at 387-0094. That's 387-0094. And be sure to tell them that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Leaders at the Group of Seven Summit have thrown their support behind President Trump's tentative agreement with Iran to open up the Strait of Hormuz and further extend a shaky ceasefire. In a declaration issued overnight, the leaders called that deal an historic opportunity to prevent Iran from acquiring any nuclear weapon. New polling shows a tightening political race ahead of the November midterm elections. The survey conducted for The Economist and YouGov found Republicans are closing the gap with Democrats, trailing now by just 3 points among American adults, 39 to 36%, and by just 2 points among registered voters. The margin there, 46 to 44%. That poll comes after months of predictions about a pending blue wave victory by Democrats in the midterms. On Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 125 points, the Nasdaq up about 10. This is SRN News.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be
Enter your dad into this Friday's drawing. It's quick, it's easy, and it's our way of helping you treat dad to the steak he deserves. After all, Prattville Carpet is a family business, and around here, Father's Day means a little more.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Call us today for your free measurement.
Get details on Facebook and shop PrattvilleCarpet.com.
We're more than just carpet.
Tired of spending your weekends fighting weeds, patchy grass, and a mower that never starts? Mosley Lawn Pros is the solution. They handle residential and commercial lawn maintenance, landscaping, cleanups, and property care, so you don't have to. They show up on time, do the job right, and leave your lawn looking sharp every time. Stop stressing over your yard and start loving it. When it comes to your lawn, call the crew your neighbors and local businesses trust. One call, one crew, problem solved. Mosley Lawn Pros, built on hard work, driven by quality. Find them today on Facebook or Google.
This is Matt Woodham with Woodham Southside Firestone. As a businessman, you need to watch your advertising dollar. We've been using Blue Water Broadcasting for many years. Blue Water Broadcasting is the biggest bang for your buck. Blue Water Broadcasting and Woodham Southside Firestone, great combination.
Did you know that radio is the #1 reach platform in all of media? It's true. Call us to find out how to put radio's #1 reach to work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's Conversational Radio Show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. 334-272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. Let's go to Crawdad. Hey, Crawdad, how you doing?
Yes, sir. I'm doing pretty good today. Oh, this that I heard of the news recently about sharing certain technological things with Israel from our military, and that even got into the NAADD national. Anyway, happens every January.
NDAA.
Thank you. Okay. I remember what happened with Stuxnet when we were going to disable the ability to spin up weapons-grade stuff. And we did share with Israeli some of the thing. And what happens is a little piece of equipment that was going out into the world that eventually would wind their way up into Iran from Siemens Corporation. And next thing you know, long story short, with Stuxnet history, everybody found out that Israelis had inserted a little bit of code into the Siemens thing, and that was so that they could get, they weren't supposed to do that. So things went bad. Now, after that, I'm thinking, should we ever share tech with other places? I just don't think so. And I was worrying when I hear the news, we're going to share stuff with Israel again. I don't want to see that. So I wanted you guys to comment, and I will listen, okay?
Yeah, I hear you. Thank you. It's a give and take. You could say, yeah, they're going to spy on us, and we're going to spy on them. Like that's what I presume is going on. Like when people make this huge deal that the Israelis are spying, I'm like, yeah, so are we. And so is every other country who has the capability. Now, could it be prudent not to let certain people partner with you on certain programs and technologies? Yeah. But generally speaking, you make your choices. Do you want this effectiveness? Perhaps there is a benefit. Perhaps you know that they're spying on you. Like, it gets complicated. So, I'll put it this way. We shouldn't trust anyone, even our closest friends. We should trust them to follow their interests as nations. And we should trust them to play into the character of who they are as nations, not in what we hope them to be. Now, people can change, especially with the right incentives like bombs falling on your head. See that in Venezuela, and this is what the Trump administration is going for with Iran. But, some nations that ain't changing, and Trump was just mentioning this, okay, now I'm trying to end and reshape the Middle East. What if we also got the whole Russia-Ukraine thing resolved? Peace on earth, baby. I guess all the wars in Africa you'd still have to deal with, but peace on earth, baby. Let's listen in.
Conversations with President Zelensky here at the G7.
Well, I had very good talks with President Zelensky and with President Putin, and we'd like to see that one end. I ended 8 wars, and to be honest with you, I thought this would have been one of the easier ones, but they're not liking each other too much, and that makes it much more difficult. But we're working. I had 2 good conversations with President Zelensky and with President Putin.
Two good conversations. That's not a lot there. I don't know. That one is getting just nasty. You got to wonder, does that bleed over in some way? But a lot of people bleeding out literally in the midst of that war. But Trump, of course, even doing all this foreign policy stuff, has time to look at Washington, D.C. and this Truth Social message. And there's all sorts of ways to look at any text. So you can look at the literal facts of what I'm about to read, but it's also representative of just the games. I was just mentioning nations spying on nations. Think of all the games. So even with people on the so-called same team, it's jiu-jitsu, but with leverage and influence and information that you can use and pulling coalitions together. It's just a whole thing. But here, let me just read it. This is from the president's long, so I'll spare you the Donald Trump voice. But he says the Republicans agreed with Democrats to remove very fair and talented William Pulte from serving as acting DNI in return for getting FISA approved by the Democrats. However, the Republicans moved so fast with the hearings of the great Jay Clayton, current U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, that Pulte would be gone before the Democrats would vote on FISA. Now the Democrats are saying they will vote against FISA. So the Republicans wound up having fulfilled their commitment, but Democrats broke the deal. In addition, the newly nominated U.S. Attorney, Jamie McDonald, must be confirmed in blue slipped. Because of the ridiculous views of Republicans on blue slipping, Democrats are often willing to nix it. I may not be able to get the extraordinary Sullivan and Cromwell partner Jamie approved, and I don't want to take Jay Clayton away from the great job he's doing until Jamie is in place. Therefore, to add a slight bit of intrigue, what a web. So there had been a deal between Republicans and Democrats to get rid of the acting DNI, Pulte, William Pulte, who's the head of what? Like Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and stuff right now. Mortgage and Housing Authority or whatever. So they were going to get that for getting FISA approved by the Democrats. But the Republicans moved so fast that Pulte would be gone before there was even a vote on the FISA thing. So now Democrats are saying they're going to vote against FISA. And now Trump wants to make sure that before this guy, Jay Clayton, becomes DNI, you don't want to stop him from being U.S. Attorney until you get this guy named Jamie McDonald in there as U.S. Attorney. Therefore, to add a slight bit of intrigue, but for the good of the nation and the people of our country, I will not approve FISA. So he's taking the Democrats' position. Trump is. I will not approve FISA without the Save America Act going along with it. Not complicated, actually. The Republicans fell into a trap. Regarding the approval of our great patriot, Jay Clayton, we are canceling the Senate hearing regarding DNI today and will not be going forward until Jamie McDonald is approved to be U.S. Attorney. In the meantime, Bill Pulte will remain as Acting Director of National Intelligence. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. So the main takeaway, without all the intrigue and the different angles of this, I will not approve FISA without the Save America Act. Well, I wish this had been the case forever. But yeah, it seems like, okay, Republicans, you want to make a deal with the Democrats? I'll take away something that y'all always vote yes on until you actually move the needle. In particular, you, Mitch McConnell. In particular, you, Lisa Murkowski. In particular, you, Tom Tillis. Don't get me started on Susan Collins, but I'm running against a guy with a Nazi tattoo who keeps talking about violating men and women. Ah. Just such a messy, messy thing. But I've always thought FISA allows the government to spy on all sorts of people, and I'm sure we don't even hear half the stories of how it's abused because it's just that effective of a tool. So we'll see. And the politics, like I said, it's just so messy. All the back and forth, and God love the people that can do this all day, every day, do it at high levels, and actually get some positive things done. But another thing apparently I learned is messy is jet skis. Now, not owning your own. Now, I guess owning your own jet ski can be a little messy. There's a lot of ins and outs to that. But, I was wondering, by the way, whatever happened to Herschel Walker? He is now the U.S. ambassador to the Bahamas.
Lucky dog.
Eddie Bader joining me now in the studio.
Hey, buddy.
And so Herschel Walker, as ambassador to the Bahamas, has put out a safety alert.
Okay, good.
To Americans.
Yep.
Now, is it messy owning your own jet ski?
Yeah.
There's a lot of maintenance work. You want to make sure the jet ski's somewhat operable before you hop on it and rev it up to 60.
Yeah, the only problem usually happens when you let other people ride your jet ski.
Right.
That's when the problems happen.
Right, so Herschel put out this safety alert.
Okay.
And I think there's some people mocking it, but I don't know. Let's listen in. But it's good to see he's U.S. ambassador to the Bahamas.
What a lucky guy.
You lose a Senate race, you get to be that?
I'd have done that. I'd have done that in a minute.
That's pretty good. Well, you can't do as many push-ups as Herschel
That's
Walker.
for true.
Anyway, let's listen to him.
Hello, I'm Ambassador Herschel Walker. I have an important message for Americans visiting or living in the Bahamas. The beautiful waters here are one of the reasons people love to visit these islands. But I need to warn you about some serious dangers associated with renting jet skis.
With renting jet skis?
They had this problem in Jamaica. They banned them for a while.
And small watercrafts, and swimming at beaches where jet skis and small watercrafts are being operated in shallow waters, particularly around Nassau and Paradise Island. We've lost America's lives to preventable accidents. Multiple visitors have been hospitalized. America have also been sexually assaulted by jet ski operators who take victims to isolated islands. Many watercrafts are unsafe and operators are unlicensed and uninsured. That's why U.S. government employees are banned from renting or riding jet skis. We're working with the government of the Bahamas to address these issues. But for now, considering all the risks before you get on a jet ski in the Bahamas, your safety matters. If you need help, contact the embassy immediately.
So what your thoughts are? What are your thoughts on that?
I love Herschel Walker. It's true. I mean, I know this stuff. I've kind of kept up with it. Big problem in the Caribbean, big problem down in Mexico as well, where just unlicensed vendors, and you're just looking for a deal. Yeah, and
well, no, especially like somebody's like, hey, I'll take you out on a boat to a secret island, and you get away from everybody else, and then he sexually assaults you.
Well, I mean, honestly, now that part doesn't happen a lot, but a lot of times you'll meet vendors. They're like, I can show you, and that's the whole reason you get with them. I can show you something unique, something off the resort or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But common sense ain't that common, people. But you gotta pay attention. If it takes Herschel Walker to keep somebody from getting hurt, and he says things like "help," then so be it.
Yeah, no, and there's also that's one of the worst ways to go. You're having fun on vacation, all of a sudden you collide with somebody else on a jet ski.
Oh, there's some videos out there. I told you Big Back about ran me over a couple weeks ago.
Well, you probably deserved it.
I did not. She's just uncontrollable.
Yeah, can't control her skiing.
No.
Or jet skiing.
No, but it does happen. But some of the worst ones are, it will be a crowded beach where you rent the jet ski from, people are swimming.
Yeah.
And when they're coming back in, they've rented the jet ski, they really don't know how to operate it very safely.
Right.
And they end up, unfortunately, kind of hitting people in the crowd. And it happens quite often. Like I said, in Jamaica, they banned them for about a year, and then they just kind of came back and it had strict operational rules.
So okay. Yeah. Well, and all the stuff we get annoyed with, like insurance and all the stuff, it's like, no, there's a reason those standards exist.
Yeah. I always suggest people get the travel insurance.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Nothing like being in a foreign country and you go, do you take Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama?
Yeah, no. I don't think they do.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's got to be terrible. Like you're in a foreign country and something awful happened.
And a lot of people, I love it, but I hate it. But a lot of people, first time out of America, so they think of wherever they're going as just as safe as wherever they came from, and that's generally not the case.
Back here's not just as safe as you think.
Right, but you got to, here you know what to watch for. There,
No, you live, 20, 30 minutes outside west of Montgomery, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, I need to go to the hospital. Let's go to Jackson. Oh, they're bankrupt now.
Yeah.
Huh. And I even have insurance and everything.
It's your insurance is the problem, Joe.
Yeah, that's still going on, by the way. I
thought
think
we
they've entered into bankruptcy proceedings or something.
that
Or
right?
like there's a deadline next week or something like that.
I really feel, and I could be way wrong, but my gut feeling is somebody's going to step up. They got no choice.
Somebody's got to.
They got no choice. And look at all the money we keep throwing at them. I get it. At some point, somebody's got to say, okay, enough's enough.
Well, I saw a thing from the mayor.
Oh, how's he doing?
I don't know. I don't care. But I saw that he was saying by law, it is the county's main responsibility for upkeeping hospitals, just looking over this. And so he was like, we've spent millions and it's the county's responsibility. And I appreciate the state helping a little too, but essentially going, look, it ain't us.
That's the thing, though. We've got to get to the bottom of it. We can't keep throwing them money and then 3 months later go, hey, they need money again. Is this the third or fourth time?
It's bad.
I mean, and all we doing is throwing good money, as far as I can see, bad ideas right now.
It's bad. So, I mean, it could be you go to the Bahamas and you get hit by a jet ski and you don't have insurance, but it could be, you're just on a pond somewhere and you accidentally hit your head without getting out of the fishing boat. And
how many hospitals we have in Tri-County area,
What, 3?
I think
including
3.
Jackson?
Including, and I'm thinking of Wetumpka as well.
Oh. We got Baptist East, Baptist South, and Jackson here in Montgomery.
So, I mean, if we lost one, and I've never gone down there and not be busy.
Mm-hmm.
That's really going to put a strain on capacity, no doubt.
Now, let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Joe, it's Rack on Tour. How are you doing?
Great. How are you?
Doing great. Hey, quick two-part question that I think you can answer for me. Speaking of tourists and our famous Freddie from Germany.
Yes.
Would I be right in making the statement that Freddie could be the modern day Marquis de Tocqueville commentating on America?
I think so.
Yeah, and part 2, is that the reason he's going to get to beat Ellen Langley before you, because you won't go to the waterfall?
I didn't get that last second one, man.
Is that the reason he's going to beat Ella Langley before you do, because you won't go to the waterfall?
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, that's probably it. That's the reason. Oh, no, I don't get to meet Ella.
Don't act like that wouldn't be a problem in your life, because the fact that I haven't met her yet, it's becoming a problem in my life.
I've turned back into a middle schooler with my romantic emotions.
Right.
I don't need to be meeting Ella Langley, be pining over that
write a
rock
song
star.
about you.
That
Me and
country
Joey got the
natural
same
song.
beautiful hair.
Yeah,
I know how you are with your hair products. That's the way you bond
her
with the
hair's
women.
nicer than mine. By the way, I saw a great video where it's like 2 dudes riding in a Kia.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, damn, phone's dead. You just want to turn on the radio? And they turn on the radio, and it's Ella Langley's song, and they're like, gun, this song's so overplayed and all this stuff. And then they start singing it to each other.
Yep.
Then they're dancing in each other's arms.
Power of Ella.
She was in Texas.
They become Ella fellas.
Yeah.
Just like that.
It's not going to happen to me.
Joey.
But I get what you're coming from, Raconteur. Yes, Freddie's probably going to meet her before me.
We cannot let that happen. We as a community have to keep that
scheduled.
from happening.
Yeah, Joey, it's already scheduled. He reached out to him and invited him. or come to one of her concerts.
Because he's on a tear. Like there's no,
He
like
is on a
he is.
tear.
This is the stuff of legend.
Yeah, but you should be motivated. You could be a Freddie. You could be a Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could be a Joey. Yeah, sure.
You could be. You are the media guy for this area. You just step. Never mind. Who's my kid? Yeah. Let's go to the waterfall. We'll have a good time.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to meet whomever. Like Ella would be cool to me.
Oh yeah, I heard she's very nice. Very nice.
That's where her friends met her.
Well, thank you, Raccoon Tour.
Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
You too.
Shall I wear these glasses?
You do not need to wear those glasses.
Blocking the blue light, baby.
There is a character I want to show you.
Yeah.
But it's so bad, I don't want you to show it. I think it's going to crush you. I can't do it. I showed Susanna, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you better not show him that."
Maybe I'm going for that.
I think so.
Let's go to line 2. You're on there. It says
Simpler days.
Hey, Simpler Days.
Hey, are we going down the Primrose Lane? Is this deja vu of the water park for Jackson's Hospital, where the
Sure seems to be
city and the county?
some similarities there. Who you shake down?
Where they're both deflecting, and no, it's your ball. No, it's your ball. And who was the one that got all this started with the water park? Well, we know who that is, and we know where she is, and we know how that played out. But anyway, Jackson's Hospital, it's leverage. They're leveraging, and they keep putting it off, and they keep threatening, and they keep threatening. Well, we're going to go under. We're going to shut down if you don't give us.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, they're going to have to call their bluff.
Well,
And
the
you
latest
say, okay.
ask, though, is not for the government. It's for they're constantly making Blue Cross the enemy here.
Right.
And our reimbursement rates suck. And Blue Cross has a completely different story, their side of the story. And so it's sort of stuck in that moment.
Well, but for the layman like myself, yourself, Simpler Days here, open the books up.
I think that's what bankruptcy court's all about.
And I think when that's the case, which, again, call them out on it. But I hate for that thing to go down, because if it goes down for 24 hours, I don't know what it takes to open it back up. And things in Montgomery don't seem to open back up.
Well, Eddie, just what you said about let the bankruptcy get the city and the county out of it. Let the bankruptcy court decide, and if there's a healthcare provider out there, if there's another entity that wants to step in and say, okay, we'll give you pennies on the dollars for it, we'll take it over, or you can reduce services. But sooner or later, they're going to have to call their hand, and the bankruptcy court can make the decision. Or the taxpayers can keep, ponying up more money for them. But
there's no end in that. And I feel like if we do it again, we're just 3 months down the road, it's going to happen again.
Well, it's similar to the water park deal, but it's just poor. It's just, I think, wonder if Trump was negotiating this deal, what would he do?
Oh, he'd let it go. He'd let it go.
Hey, Joey, Eddie, have y'all ever watched The Sopranos?
Oh, yeah. One of my favorites.
It's been a second, but yeah.
When Trump said that about when he walked into the room and he said, "I am the boss," that is Tony. That is Tony to the T.
Yes, sir.
And Tony's always leveraging deals. And one of the mafia guys says, you got a sixth sense. You know what's going to happen and before it happens. And I think Trump's got a sixth sense.
Some say he's from the future.
Y'all have a good day.
Appreciate it. Yeah, no, there's a lot of folks say that is one of his superpowers. Yeah. Is like you, me, anybody sits down in front of him, he knows exactly what he needs to say. Like he reads you immediately. Mm-hmm. Whether he needs to be negative or charm you or whatever, like he just has this knack for understanding. And I think it's not even I think it's at a level of like he's just reading somebody's body language and energy. It's just instinctual at this point.
Salesman. There's good salesmen like that. Go buy a Lamborghini, Joe. You'll walk out of there with that Lamborghini.
I don't have money for a Lamborghini.
Don't matter. You got credit. That's all.
yeah, right. You got credit. You can go do that.
You got the credit.
Just put it on credit.
That's right.
Put it on. Anyway, you're on there. Who's this?
Hey, I'm on the air. This is Sam from Pike County.
Hey, Sammy, what's up, buddy?
In the kitchen, fiddling around. We're steaming vegetables, and but I'm enjoying the show. But I'm always my couple of things about the hospital.
Okay.
But first, let me say this about our president, Donald Trump. I watched The Apprentice and enjoyed it. Well, that's just a personal thing, but that's how I got my feel for the man. Yes, he's an a-hole from New York City, and he's tough, but he's my kind of tough, and I think he's a good guy.
Let me ask you this, Sam. Is he the same
sir.
guy that you've been watching on The Apprentice? Is the president that you see now, you see him operating just like you watched him on Apprentice?
He's 20 years older.
Yeah.
He's 20 years older. He's been under stress and fire, and I think he knows the people that he's dealing with now a lot better than he did when he started. So, no, he's not the same. I think he's evolved since then. Still, his tenets, his basic, I think he's a good guy, man. I think he's really trying to help us. And, politics is complicated. You earlier, Joey, we were talking about Iran. My redneck person here in Alabama, first cousin of mine, after he left the Korean War, he married a nice British girl, moved to Tehran. There's a city, I can't remember the name of it. It was full of Americans right outside Tehran, and that was the oil city. And, man, he worked there right up until the 50, whenever it was the revolution occurred.
The Iranian Revolution.
Yes, sir. I'm just saying it's complicated, and there's excuse me, my mouth went dry, and I've ranted enough about that. Jackson Hospital, Troy Hospital, in my lifetime has been sold, gutted, and reopened. I think 5 or 6 times.
Oh, wow.
I've done. Yes. I was up there 2 weeks ago. It's a fine hospital, and I got an MRI. I'm an X-ray. And we still, the old time with people there, we still call it we still joke about it being the edge of death. That's the nickname it had back 20, 30 years ago.
Wow.
But it steadily has improved. The doctors own the hospital. They'll have it a while and then they'll sell it. But we're getting that. This is a long way for me to get around to. Bankruptcy may be the best thing for Jackson Hospital to see who the big salaries, who's profiting from all this money that's being pumped in to the administration. That's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't want to. I'm just too nervous about them closing. But
that's it. Yeah, it'll be a temporary thing, but it will. They're outpatient clinics. VA's been using a lot of them. I went over and got my last colonoscopy. Their father went there. Yeah, so it's really going to. You have doctors that on circuit. They'll come down from Birmingham and different places to Montgomery. It's complicated, and it's really going to put a lot of people out if it closes. And so I figure that's the threat.
Look at all the people that work there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. No COVID to blame it on.
Right.
It's just
I don't think Montgomery needs that.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for taking my call. That's what I wanted to share. But Troy survived it, and we're better off for it. There's no, just throw money at the problem. That's it. That's the simple way out. All right.
Thanks,
Sammy. I wish I had a big enough problem they'd throw money at me.
I could help you with that.
I don't want to dance for you, Joey. I learned my lesson with that.
You learned your lesson?
Yeah. I don't like dancing for quarters.
I thought those were quarters. Okay. Anyway, you think we should have break?
Yeah, let's break it up.
But first,
yeah,
this entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage.
Oh, I spoke with Madeline today. She put in a word for a good friend of ours here at the station. They got to communicate today, and she once again stepped up, helped them out.
Beautiful.
Yeah, one call, man.
It's really that simple, folks. Just call them up direct at 567-4223, and that could be whether you're looking to buy a place.
Yep.
Or maybe you just have a question. Like, you're just curious.
Yeah.
Like you're just kind of home curious. Like maybe I should get one. Maybe I should get a new one.
At least get the queue, because now that things seem to be settling down with Iran, gas prices are falling. There's not much else that should keep us from taking off in the future with housing like crazy again.
Right, especially if rates fall a little bit.
And that's what we're looking for. We've got new construction starting up. I've got some new construction myself. So there is prime time. So I would get in the queue now. Go ahead and that way you can get your credit score checked. You can make sure your credit report is correct because there are mistakes out there, and she can show you how to fix those as well. But if I were you guys and you eligible for a VA loan, that's what I'd be calling her about.
Or maybe you're sitting on hundreds of thousands of dollars of equity in your home.
Oh.
And you want to use it to make the home nicer or help out the family.
Or throw money at Eddie. Yeah.
Or throw money at Eddie.
Yeah.
He'll dance. I'll check them out today. That's Alabama Home Mortgage. Of course, again, that number, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. Really, you apply there, they get in touch with you real quick. After.
Yeah.
There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368 in Equal Housing Linden.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Trust is the number one reason why a patient chooses a healthcare provider. Adams Drugs has been your trusted healthcare provider since 1962 and has been voted the number one pharmacy in the River region for many years. We strive each and every day to provide you the level of healthcare you have come to expect from Adams Drugs. The employees at Adams Drugs take pride in developing relationships with their patients, from making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly to getting to know you and your family's needs and following up on any questions you may have. Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
We're talking with Dr. Clark McLemore at McLemore Dentistry, and this is where I went a few years ago to get my smile reworked. Dr. McLemore, you have a great offer for our listeners.
We've got all of our design and manufacturing in-house. So what that means is if you come to us, we have the entire process under our control, providing top quality prosthetics and restorations. And that really impacts our patients' smiles, and it makes us feel a lot better that we're doing the absolute best we can for folks.
Visit drmclemordentistry.com.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector. That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig? No, but it looks like you do. And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich? What's that? I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man. You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist? That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE. You know, I've heard a lot of good things about David Ernest. You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience. Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold. That's right, man. And I can see that you don't have very much experience. What do you mean, man? Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach. Yeah, man, well, I want to start out small and then kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich. Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first. You think he's got a shovel? Never know till you ask. I dig, man.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Well, hi, everybody. We're going to be radar watching for the next few days with the potential for excessive rainfall and flooding. Periods of rain and thunderstorms will continue in the forecast today, tonight, actually Thursday and Friday as well. Our weather app will keep you on top of the action with instant push notifications for any flooding alerts, plus radar and future radar. It's free in the App Store. Just search Rich Thomas Weather. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Vader here in the studio.
When did you team up with Soundgarden over the weekend?
Over the weekend.
Yeah.
Just picked up my acoustic, made a few chords, turned it into an instrumental, then wrote the lyrics in like 15 minutes.
I like it.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
That's pretty cool.
Feel like moving to Seattle and putting on some flannel clothes, flannel shirt?
No, the original track was more 60s psychedelic.
Really?
Yeah. Like Mamas and the Papas.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And you turned it into this, or the AI kind of?
No, that's the instrumental I made and wanted.
Uh-huh.
And because the song is really meditative prayer that's slightly psychedelic.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to go to where creation's theme abides. I want to go where the moon hides and where the sun rides, and like I want to go into like that extra dimension right out that the source of being itself. I want to commune with God is the kind of the point of the song.
I got the words.
And don't you want to go to that too?
I didn't put the God factor in there.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, my bad. Now I
well,
feel bad.
because you danced.
I need to go to church again.
Yeah, well, for a lot of reasons, but especially because you danced that one time. And it wasn't quarters. Speaking of dancing for quarters, did you see that the San Francisco Giants? I don't know if you like to travel, but you ever been to San Francisco?
I have one time. My dad went there for some medical reasons. I went by
and they got Giants.
It was beautiful when I was there, but that was 80s. My understanding is not so beautiful now.
But late last week, the San Francisco Giants hosted their Pride Night.
Oh!
With the team wearing hats with a rainbow-colored Giants logo.
How'd that go?
What are we proud about? Like, that men can love each other and be friends? Because you can do that all day long. In fact, you're encouraged to do that.
The pridefulness is, they're proud of what they are, what they've become, I guess.
But several Giants pitchers, in a statement of their faith, wrote Bible verse designations on their hats because the hats themselves are pride themed.
And one of them wrote it on his arm.
One starting pitcher, Layden Roop, with 2 P's, addressed his reasoning after the game, saying that the verse is about representing God's covenant. It's just about God's covenant and a promise that he makes to us that, his faithfulness and his mercy. That's just kind of something I believe in, and I stand firm in that. And I'm thankful we live in a country where, we have the freedom to believe what we want and express what we want. There's no hate at all. It's just what I stand for, what I stand in. I believe in God. Good man.
Was he
naturally
shamed,
that
I guess?
Public expression of Christian faith did not go over well with the left-wing sports writers who criticized Roop and his teammates. Why?
Yeah. For being themselves, for being the individuals that they are.
Well, those critics would be overjoyed to hear that Major League Baseball has now officially stepped in. Per The Athletic, an MLB official has now warned, quote unquote, warned those players against violating the rules and writing on their cap. The writing on the cap violates our rules and consistent with normal practice, we have warned the players about future violations, said Pat Courtney, MLB's chief comms officer. It's interesting that the league chose to issue this warning considering riding on caps has long been part of the sport.
Yep.
As just one example, during the 2025 World Series between the Los Angeles Dodgers and Toronto Blue Jays, players from both sides wrote number 51 on their hats as a gesture of support for Dodgers reliever Alex Vezia. Vezia and his wife had tragically lost their newborn daughter as the series started. Did the league warn those players against riding on their caps?
Didn't say anything.
There was another instance, Dodgers reliever Blake Treinen drew 2 crosses with Charlie Kirk's name on his hat after Kirk was assassinated in 2025. Clayton Kershaw also wrote a Bible verse on his Pride Night hat. Where were those players warned against further riding? When were they warned? Aroldis Chapman and Adolis Garcia in 2021 wrote SOS Cuba.
I remember that.
On their hats during the All-Star game.
I do remember that.
Were they warned?
No, they were not. They were celebrated.
On the other hand, would MLB have warned a player for writing a message of, say, support for left-wing politics or for LGBTQ+, for example?
Nope.
But it wasn't just... didn't just get our attention. But it's almost like people are treating like the pride thing as like an icon that you must genuflect before. And it's like, no.
No. Exactly right.
We won't. And honestly, I'm not interested in it.
But you shouldn't have to be. No more than I'm trying to force a lifestyle on anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
You like it, you like it. You don't, I can give a damn.
Well, it's also...
But you're not going to force me on it.
You know, pride's a sin.
Yeah, that was one of the big ones.
And celebrating is sin. Well, it's just about love, is it?
No, because if it was about love, it would be welcoming to all.
Well, no, if it's just about love, you know, 2 men can't love each other without somebody going gay. And what do we mean by that?
Yeah. Yeah, you can. But does anybody, and I don't know, I'm not in that world, but does anybody really yell gay anymore when they see 2 guys walking together?
Yes, all the time.
Really?
People yell it at this show every day.
Yeah, but we're not walking together holding hands.
We don't have to. U.S. Senator Katie Britt jumped in on this.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What'd Katie allow?
When asked about the passage, okay, no, we already covered that. Here's what Katie wrote.
Okay.
Let me get this straight. MLB teams can host Pride Night, but players wearing Bible verses is an issue, Britt posted on X. Last I checked, freedom of religion was still one of the founding principles of our nation and enshrined in our Constitution. This decision should be reversed now. The league later clarified that the writing violated the MLB's uniform regulations and that, yeah, right.
Got to get them on something.
And the warning was not disciplinary and had absolutely nothing to do with the content of the message. Oh,
Joe,
sure.
Have you ever
literal demon
been written up at a job or not written up? You get the whole verbal warning.
Mm-hmm.
When you get a verbal warning, and when you get a verbal warning, they still write it up, and then they say, "Hey, we need you to sign it." And then most people go, "I'm not signing that because it says that this is a verbal warning, and what you're making to be signed is documented warning." So yeah, I'm sure they got a call from their clubhouse or from whatever, and it said, "Hey, dummy, this is what you did, and you shouldn't have done that." However, I'm glad that they stood up for themselves and said, "This is what I believe. You don't like it? Tough. Trade me.
Right.
Trade me.
Yeah, trade me. Yeah, make me."
Yeah.
Anyway, 272-9228. That's 334-272. So what did they write after all? And that's one thing that gets a little frustrating.
Bible verse.
Yeah. Let's see. They put on their hats Genesis 9:12 through 16.
Okay.
New International Version. Or we could go King James. We could go old school.
Watered down version is what you're giving us?
Or we could go new RSV Catholic Standard Edition.
I don't know if I trust that.
Mm-hmm. No, but New International Version. And God said, "This is the sign of the covenant I am making between me and you and every living creature with you, a covenant for all generations to come. I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Whenever I bring clouds over the earth and the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will remember my covenant between me and you and all living creatures of every kind. Never again will the waters become a flood to destroy all life. Whenever the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and all living creatures of every kind on the earth. So the folks that treat the rainbow as an icon of some other means might be a little mad that people are being reminded of what the rainbow represented for a long, long, long time.
Well, not only
that and leprechauns.
That Hawaiian state flag. They took that a long time ago. That's the Hawaiian state flag. It's rainbow.
It was?
The Warriors, Hawaiian Warriors. Their football team was
They're
the Rainbow
Warriors?
Rainbow Warriors. Not no more, I don't think. But yeah, they were the Rainbow Warriors.
Yeah. No, it's just, I'm a little over it. And especially when, well, the outrage seems to go in one direction. People act like, we don't want Christian nationalism. We don't want a theocracy in this country. And it's like, you think we don't live under a certain religious point of view right now?
We're a Christian nation, aren't we? I mean, we were founded as a Christian nation.
No, like, seriously, secular humanism and all the different colors of the rainbow that fall under that creed that isn't a religion? Y'all can prove everything? No, it is. It's a religion masquerading that it's not a religion. It's just the neutral position.
But it's not the neutral position.
No, it's not. So, anyway, good for Senator Britt calling out that nonsense.
Yes,
and good
great.
for those guys reminding folks of, well, maybe more and more folks went into Google and searched for Genesis 9:12-16, and that's something to be said.
I don't know. Makes me like Katie just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more?
A little bit more.
Poco?
Okay. I like the lady. She's very captivating. But I like the fact she's not afraid to stick her nose in it. She didn't have to come into that, but she did.
Yeah, that's true. You stuck your nose in anything lately?
Oh, God, have I ever.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Get ready, Central Alabama. The biggest watermelon festival yet is happening Saturday, June 27th at Sweet Creek Farm Market. They're celebrating America's 250th birthday and all things watermelon with free admission, over 100 arts and crafts vendors, a watermelon eating contest, entertainment for the kids, food trucks, and family fun around every corner. It's Sweet Creek Farm Market's biggest arts and crafts festival ever, and admission is free. Saturday, June 27th, 10 to 4 on Highway 231 and Pike Road. Come hungry, bring the family, and celebrate summer at Sweet Creek Farm Market's Watermelon Festival.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
The River Region's first and only News Talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Well, we just tried to get in touch with Michael Cohen, but he's busy right now with a
believe
customer.
it or not, Joey, he picked a customer over us. You know,
Actually, I love that.
I do, but I still take it a little personal. I mean,
Cohen is great, man. They really are great. There's a reason they've been around, 60, almost 70 years?
Yep.
Because, number one, the products are great. I love going in that showroom. Like, even when I know now is not the time for me to buy a 100-something inch TV,
I saw
it's pretty
105 the other day.
It's pretty great to go look at it and think, maybe I got credit.
Here's the thing, though, with that 105er, I really expected to see not as clear. Dude, it is crystal clear.
It's amazing.
Crystal clear.
And then the new audio options you got, and then all those beautiful chairs that you can get.
Oh, you got some great
massages
massage chairs in there.
Ooh.
He's got some furniture in there if you're doing like a media room. He's got some great furniture ideas for that.
Or every time I go in there, I'm realizing, my brother and my father are they're ahead of me. They both have Traeger grills.
Oh,
they can set the smoking and they can watch it
from their phone.
From their phone on the couch. Like, should we go check on the brisket? He's like, nah, I'm looking at him.
My son's got the same Traeger, Joey. Well, you're falling behind, Joey.
Yeah, but they got that there at Cohen's.
They sure do.
And then, of course, maybe you want to build out a kitchen.
Yeah. Say you build new construction, which is real popular right now.
Like range, stovetop.
You can take your prints in there, show them what kind of space you're working with, and they can fit it in where your cabinets are going to be, the whole 9 yards.
Maybe you need a new fridge. That's an important part of a house.
Yeah, I needed one today. Yeah, it is. When the fridge goes out, nobody's happy.
And then here's what's great. They're not going to be beat on price. They can't be beat on price, but they will always win. Always on service.
100% all day long.
Like during the sale.
Yep.
Delivering it to you, getting it set up.
After the sale.
Especially these big ticket items.
Yep.
And then after the sale, it could be years after. Like, hey, I bought this washing machine from you. It's 5 years later, and this thing happened to it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll come out.
Yep.
Like, they'll take your call. Try doing that with, like, Best Buy.
Good luck.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't.
So I'll check out Cohen's today. You can always go to thinkcohens.com or just stop by the Boulevard. That's the best way to do it. 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And find Michael and be like, hey, I heard those guys on the radio. Joey and Eddie, I think are their names. They sent me. So we got a whole hour left.
Okay.
And, I mean, do you have anything in particular you would like to talk about? Anything you would like to share?
No.
No?
No, I've had a rough day. I don't need to open my mouth. It'll just make things worse.
Okay. Well, there's a new study saying back and forth the seesaw goes. Nightly glass of wine may not be as harmless as many people think, a study suggests.
Man, how long have we been drinking wine?
They did this with eggs for years, too.
How long have we been drinking wine?
Oh.
Right.
Jesus turned water into wine.
Right.
What did he Cana, baby?
Jesus ain't going to do nothing bad.
Yeah, but you got to wonder, what was the alcohol content of?
I kind of hope it was a little bit stiffer, to be honest. They were a little bit looser back then.
Yeah.
But I don't, to me, it's to each your own. I'm glad that the information is out there, but if you're going to change it every couple of years, then you're not an expert.
There's also a college professor, I've been sitting on this story a while, who says, my students can't read.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Sadly, it does not surprise me.
And also, apparently, there are people upset that this Artemis 3 mission that'll happen in a year or so.
Yeah.
It's all men and the crew.
How many seats are available? Can we not put an extra seat in
The
there?
progressive mind at work. Well, if it's not, at least if you don't have a woman, can't at least one of them like to soak cork?
Well,
like, goodness gracious, y'all are.
Who's going to do all the cooking? Who's going to do the sewing up there?
Eddie, talk about this.
I don't get the inclusion thing. Okay, is there a benefit of it? If the 7 best people they had to qualify to go on this is who went on it, then so be it. That's all it should be.
Yeah.
That's
And
all
we just
it should
had a
be.
very qualified woman who was awesome.
Yes.
You don't see me complaining about that.
I don't get it.
Like that, I still always remember that clip of Bear Bryant with a female field reporter.
Yep.
Sticking a mic in his face, and he's like, what in the world is this broad doing? This is where men play.
Yep.
It's a different time.
Didn't age very well.
Different time. Anyway. We'll be right back after this.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With XRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Leaders at the G7 summit in France have thrown their support behind President Trump's tentative agreement with Iran that would reopen the Strait of Hormuz and further extend a shaky ceasefire. In a declaration issued by the leaders overnight, they called the deal historic and an opportunity to prevent Iran from ever acquiring a nuclear weapon. They also note that it would tackle the threats related to Iran's regional and ballistic activities, which have been largely decimated by the U.S. strikes. A business jet reporting mechanical problems to a nearby airport crashed and caught fire on a Texas highway yesterday, killing one person and sending motorists racing from their cars to help rescue passengers from the burning wreckage. New polling shows a tightening political race ahead of the November midterms. A survey conducted for The Economist found Republicans closing the gap with Democrats, trailing now by just 3 points among American adults. This is SRN News.
Eczema, eczema, eczema. So many ads for eczema products. But those fancy TV ads don't mention that those prescription products can cost thousands of dollars. There's a smarter way. It's Exoderm for eczema and dermatitis. Exoderm costs less than $20. Yep, less than $20. You don't need a prescription, and it's available on the first aid aisle of your local store. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives or nasty chemicals. Exoderm, fast, effective relief from the itching and inflammation of eczema. This stuff really does work. Take back control. Heal eczema flares with soothing Exoderm Flare Control Cream. It's on the first aid aisle of your local drugstore, supermarket, and at Target and Walmart too. Exoderm for eczema. Now that's
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Victoryland. Victoryland Casinos, crowning 25K free play giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too.
Well, hi, everybody. We're going to be radar watching for the next few days with the potential for excessive rainfall and flooding. Periods of rain and thunderstorms will continue in the forecast today, tonight, actually Thursday and Friday as well. Our weather app will keep you on top of the action with instant push notifications for any flooding alerts, plus radar and future radar. It's free in the App Store. Just search Rich Thomas Weather. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
1819 News.
The founder of the very first Moms for Liberty chapter here in the state of Alabama is one step closer to winning a seat on the Alabama State Board of Education. Emily Jones is a North Alabama native who was in a runoff race with William Matthews that occurred this past Tuesday. Jones secured 53% of the vote against Matthews' 46%. Jones will now face Democrat candidate Shatika Armstrong in this Place 8 race that'll be held in the November general election. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Did you know that 70% of people experience a potentially traumatic event in their lifetime, and that 6 out of every 100 adults face PTSD every day? Help us bring hope to these survivors by signing up for your Alabama Distinctive PTSD Awareness License Plate today. The great thing is you can sign up no matter when your current plate renews, and the first year is complimentary. All you need is your VIN number on hand. Drive awareness, drive hope, and customize your plate today at atease.org.
In Walker County, Jason Akins was elected to be the next sheriff there after he defeated J.C. Poe Jr. in the Republican runoff election. Both Akin and Poe challenged incumbent Walker County Sheriff Nick Smith in the May 19th primary election. However, neither of them got over 50% of the vote in order to avoid this runoff race. Akin is essentially the next sheriff for the county since there is no Democratic candidate for him to run against in November. Also happening in Walker County, a man has died after being bitten by a dog a week ago. The identity of the man is not being released at this time. An autopsy will be performed to determine exact cause of death. In Birmingham, an 89-year-old woman was struck and killed by a vehicle. The victim has been identified as Thelda Jean Kennerly. The driver and vehicle were in the carport of the elderly woman's home when it struck her. Investigators believe that the driver may have experienced a medical event causing the acceleration of that vehicle. I'm Andrea Tyson.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Hey, y'all, Lewis at the Capital Oyster Bar. We're located over here on the beautiful Alabama River. We got a fryer and a steamer and a grill in here. We cook up fresh seafood for you. We're going to have a great menu lined up for you Father's Day weekend. We're still getting a few crawfish in. That's some good stuff. We got those shrimp from Argentina, royal red shrimp, bay shrimp, fried shrimp, boiled shrimp. So I know we got some good shrimp that we find there for you. All kind of good eating. We rent out pontoon boats. If you want to come down here and spend a little time on the river, all you need is a driver's license and a credit card. You can have a good time on the river. River. We got a little RV park down here. You come stay a little while, spend the weekend with us, or come on down here and enjoy the river. So let's get back to Father's Day. What a great feeling it is. People my age get to look back and see the accomplishments of your children. What a great Father's Day present that is right there. So don't forget, no show this weekend. We do have a great lineup coming up in the rest of the summer and this fall. Check it out at CapitalOysterBar.com or our Facebook page. But a great lineup of good food this weekend. Come hungry. Happy Father's Day to all you pops out there.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the studio with me.
What's up, homie?
Well, I'm looking at a new study. It's not the one on drinking wine.
Oh, okay.
Because, I mean, I'm sure the problem with the drinking wine thing is people are like, oh, they have one glass. Well, how big is that glass, Susie?
But, so what?
Right. Now, if you had to be like a proper drunk.
Yeah.
What type of drink would be your drink of choice?
Oh, I would probably do cheap stuff like Thunderbird.
So you romanticize like the
yeah,
tramp
if
sort of.
I'm being drunk, I'm getting drunk, so let's get it as cheap as we can get.
So, but you don't want to be like a bourbon drunk.
No,
A wino?
No, not so much. And plus the liquor does, it's strange, but liquor does more to you than beer.
Yeah, it
or
does.
wine.
Well, and different types
Me
too.
trying to steal the boat in Jamaica.
Vodka?
Rum.
Oh, was it dark rum or light rum?
It was every rum they had. To the point of the guys, I was telling them that their drinks were so weak, they would literally pour me a 20-ounce glass of rum and then put a shot of Coca-Cola in it. And I'd still say, it's so weak.
But decades of research literature establishes that actually, I need to put on my glasses.
Oh, he's a nerd out?
It's nerdy right
here.
Oh,
boy.
Okay, 1 second.
Put on
Block
your
the
blue
blue
blockers.
light and the ladies, too. Decades of research literature establishes that political liberals have poor mental health and are less happy than political conservatives.
I can see that.
Scholars are unclear why.
Duh.
As Columbia University's magazine reported in 2023, American adults who identify as politically liberal have long reported lower levels of happiness and psychological well-being than conservatives.
Yeah. Can't make them happy.
Now, before I keep reading this, can I suggest a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Because, J.D. Vance was on Gutfeld.
Oh, yes.
And, the new book he's got is about, believing in God stuff.
I hear it's not
Why he became Catholic.
Yep.
And, let's listen in to the vice president. This is a short clip.
Who can look at progressive atheistic culture and say, for example, if you believe that Jesus is the Son of God, rose from the dead on the third day, there are a lot of progressives who will say, you're a crazy person, you believe in superstitions. And those same people will tell you that if a grown man takes some hormonal therapies that Big Pharma told them to take, that person will become a woman. It's actually, you believe something that's far crazier and clearly a violation of nature. And I think that there is this deep sense of purpose and meaning that everybody's seeking. And I think what's great, obviously I'm a Christian, so I'm going to say this, but what's great about Christianity is it's a healthy way to find meaning. But if you try to find all of your meaning in politics, or you try to find all of your meaning in worldly things,
amen, brother,
I think it has a very distorting effect. And again, that's part of how I found my way back to faith. Because I was an atheist, I thought I was better than everybody, and I realized, you know what? This is actually not making me a very good person.
Or a happy person.
So maybe that has something to do with it.
Sure.
Just maybe. But scholars working from the universities of Florida and Toronto.
Toronto, huh?
Yeah. Where's that?
Canucks.
Canada?
Mm-hmm.
But scholars working for Florida and Toronto contend, based on 4 different studies, This disparity could be because conservatives demonstrate a more positive outlook on life and greater personal agency, religiosity, moral clarity, and self-worth than their liberal counterparts, all qualities which are associated with greater mental health, happiness, and flexibility.
Okay. Also, most of your...
I guess by flexibility, you're not talking about your hamstring.
Well, most of your liberal crybabies are just that. They're just not happy. No matter what, you can't make them happy.
A new study published in the journal Political Behavior supports this conclusion. It shows that mental illness is emerging as its own political identity. Uh-oh. Let me read that again. Mental illness is emerging as its own political identity and is most heavily aligned with leftist political ideology and causes.
Yep.
Professor Lauren Van Dehe. Lauren Van Dehe. Miss Van Dehe. That's a name right there. Of Utah State University, who conducted the study, explains, I further find there is an emerging mental health political identity that is most pronounced among younger Gen Z and more liberal Americans. Careful observers of political discourse and its direction over the last few years have seen this demonstrated a time or two. In fact, libs of TikTok have built a successful cottage industry on this very fact. SciPost.org, in their reporting on Van Dehe's study, explains approximately 1/2 of study participants with mental illness stated that their identity as a person with a mental health illness is very important or somewhat important to them. The study's author also noted, I find that the political predictors and political consequences for the emerging mental health identity differ from those of physical disability and serious physical illness categorization and identification. This means political identity among liberal citizens can be expected to be more closely tied to mental health struggles that are more subjective in nature. This article concludes, these findings have far-reaching consequences for mental health advocacy and the role mental health identity will play in the political sphere, especially as Gen Z matures as a cohort. And we've seen this play out in gender politics.
Yes.
Where the subjective nature of gender confusion and gender dysphoria, you just heard the vice president talking about it, became a major political issue driving the behaviors, values, and messaging of political parties and individuals. It is likely we will see this spread to other political issues where mental issues are increasingly construed as a quote-unquote protective class.
No, the crazies are not a protected class.
The study analyzed from the 2022 Cooperative Election Study, a large nationally representative survey of Americans administered by YouGov, finding that conservatives are less likely to consider anxiety and depression as mental health conditions, interesting, than compared to people who self-identify as liberal. So if you're sad, you're anxious, and it's more than just sad. Like, it should be everything's going right and you don't want to wake up in the morning and you're doing it, but nothing ever makes you happy. Yeah. People want to associate like, oh, clearly I have an imbalance and I just have an identity that's a diagnosis that's out there. That's probably what's wrong with me. Or it could be there are things in your life that are missing. And maybe your priorities,
your sense of joy,
are not in the right direction. And I tend to agree with the vice president. After years of putting worldly things front and center in my life and distracting myself with things, I would say, good and bad. Like, you're going to make exercise and working out your God? Some people do. And they get a lot of meaning and fun out of it. But you know what I mean? Like, they go too far with it. Like, there can be plenty of good things you go too far with. And then, of course, there's the more addictive pathological things that you can get into. And you sort of just hang on, and one day after day. But if you're putting that in the place of God, it ain't going to fulfill. And in fact, it could easily twist into something worse if you stop, if you give in to your worst desires. Because there's definitely things vying for your soul, folks. Don't kid yourselves. And it's fascinating that conservatives also reported seeking mental health treatment at lower levels than liberals. Vendehe ponders if this fact may have something to do with, quote, a personal responsibility ethos. They do not seek help when they think they can resolve the issue on their own. See, but I would say it's not, there's some of that. I think that's true.
Sure, there's some of that in there, but
I think when you go to, at least like the tradition J.D. Vance joined, which the tradition, they emphasize tradition along with Scripture. The Catholic Church, you realize one of the main messages is surrender. It's not you. Get out of the way. Surrender all your liberty, all your memory, all your understanding, all your joys, all your sufferings, all your pain. Surrender it all to God. That's one of the main messages. Like, give it up to him. And if you're broken, give it up to him. And if you're broken in a way that maybe you're responsible for, definitely give it up to him and repent. So, like, I think personal responsibility only gets you so far. I think I'm reacting this way because I think that's another, let's say, rabbit hole I went down where I can fix it myself. And there were some things where I'm like, yeah, I did fix it myself. But when I look back, no, that wasn't me. Something was guiding me. Like, where did I come up with that decision or come up with that moment of change? Like, it wasn't me. And so if you surrender and you put trust in things that are, well, unseen, if you have faith, in other words, then you might be surprised at how much hope you will find and how much you will love life, even when life really is pulling you down. 272-9228 if you want to get on the conversation. We'll go back to bombing if Iran misbehave.
Well, what else are you supposed to do?
But it's fascinating. It's fascinating, the breakdown. And don't get me wrong, I think there are a lot of folks who are true believers, especially in God, who may disagree on politics, and that's fine. But there is, in particular, a particular cohort amongst the younger generation that is having trouble these days. I think the answer is turning back to the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, of course, careful on everybody that sells that. Not everybody who says that name actually means it or has the fullness of it. But if you walk in the right direction, God will put you where you need to be. 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. There's some people being real triumphant about this. We told you that, mental health, liberalism was a mental illness. We've told you for years. TDS and all this stuff. And I'm like, no, guys, you're missing the point. I think there is a profound tragedy at the heart of what's happened to so much of our society. And if you think how many folks are not political?
More
and
than
down these same rabbit holes.
Obviously more than are political. Look at your percentage of
so you can map what the political identity is when it comes to mental health, but there's a lot of people that don't really identify as much anything politically, and they've got the same issues. And so this is like, we should help people, not mock them. We should help people, not spike the football. You should pray for people, not try to tear them down and say, well, I was right all along. And it's another one of the problems we got around these parts. Anyway, let's go to TS. Hey, TS, how you doing?
Joey.
Hello.
How is my boy?
Your boy? Am I your boy?
You are my boy because I'm 68, honey.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
No, I'm doing great. Better than I deserve.
Yeah, no, don't say that. Anyway, no, you can say that. It just reminds me of another friend that I love dearly. I love what you're saying, and you're spot on in this cray-cray. So if we're cray-cray, we have a political advantage?
Yeah, no, and there's some folks that, essentially, this is my identity. Like, I'm born this way, it's Pride Month. I'm born this way, so I need XYZ politically. And I'll revolve my whole identity around that one thing. And real quick, just to clarify, there are obvious actual mental health issues that you could say, pray. And yes, you should pray, but there's also people that need help in all sorts of ways. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, I understand all that. Are you guys going to be around tomorrow afternoon on the talk show?
I should be here. I don't know if Eddie's going to be
here.
What's tomorrow? Saturday?
Well, if Eddie isn't there, he's
here.
just going to miss out. I'm going to try to swim over there if the Rich Thomas weather's right. I mean, I've been waiting all day in Prattville for something to happen. It hadn't happened yet. but I'm bringing a surprise.
A surprise?
Is it crunchy?
Something different, huh?
Is it crunchy?
No, it's not crunchy. It's not pecan pie. It's something else.
Okay. Well, the pecan pie was delicious, by the way.
Well, they always are, because that's my mom's recipe.
She knew what
but
she was
I
doing.
love you guys. What?
She knew what she was doing making that pie.
Oh, that's Maid or Anna's pecan pie.
Mm.
Can you imagine being named Maid or Anna? My poor mom.
Mater Anna.
Mater Anna.
Mater Anna. She went through holy hell. in elementary
No, like Mater is, I guess, M-A-T-E-R.
M-A-T-E-R
Yeah.
space A-N-N-A. And they
Now, for
joked
instance,
with her.
like mater is mother in Latin.
Yeah, but mater is
but I don't
tomato
know.
in Alabamian.
This was Latexo Crockett. So, I mean, who knows what was going on out in Tejas. But I love you guys. and
Love
won't
you
keep
too,
I just
TS.
had to mess with you.
Thank you, hon.
Appreciate it. No, it struck me. I'm like, is it tomato or is it
Mater. You want
or
one
is
of
it
the
more
mater
like
sandwiches?
Sancta Maria Mater Dei?
Mater.
It's Mater.
Mater.
Yeah, it had more to do with those fried green.
I kind of got to feel like she came along during tomato season.
Or somebody in the family got into Latin's like, let's say it wrong.
No, they swear they were saying it right, Joey. The rest of the world has it wrong.
Yeah, no, it's like naming your little girl like Mother Anna.
Who names their little girl Mother Anna?
I know, it's weird. Like, why would you call your girl
Yeah.
mate or something?
Yeah. Well, I mean, back in the day.
Anyway, let's go to Bob.
Hey, Bob.
You know, I think it's interesting. Someone said that God was in that mother directing her to call the FBI or whomever
Yeah.
about her 19-year-old son.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And it also said in the articles I was reading, they were all about satanic things such as sacrificing babies.
Oh, good Lord.
Good God.
Yep. And isn't it amazing that the internet lets you reach out all over the country to find these sickos, satanic type people who want to blow up and kill everything in the country?
Oh, absolutely. And real quick, sidebar with Eddie. You know that show he loved?
Yeah.
Or loved for so long, Your Mom's House? I look back on that stuff now.
You ain't gonna like it now, buddy.
No. It's not even about me like it or whatever. How it tastes.
Christina's Creations or whatever. The TikTok stuff,
but
that was the
when you
worst.
see all the TikToks, all the stuff they would find, I'm like, I look at it now and I'm like, this is straight up demon possession. Maybe not literally, but
No, a lot of it. They find these weirdest things you can imagine on TikTok.
yeah, and it's everywhere.
Yeah, they don't have a hard time looking for it.
Anyway, Bob.
Anyway, it's crazy. I mean, it is getting crazier and crazier.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Y'all have a good day.
You too,
Take
Bob.
care.
By the way, did you see that Luigi Mangione?
No, I haven't.
He's they're gonna argue insanity.
Go ahead. I mean, yeah.
He'll probably get more calls for dates.
Yeah. Can you honestly say someone that does that's not crazy though? I mean, he knew what he was doing.
Yes.
There's no doubt in my mind. But I don't think it'll ever be framed except for.
I think we need to stop excusing evil.
Yeah.
As crazy.
1,000%.
Well, let me put it this way: evil is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
In some traditions, the devil is literally of three minds, a split personality.
Yep.
He scattered himself. So, yeah, I think no. What that guy did, he knew what he was doing and he did it.
Yeah, he knew what
he listened to some voice in his head.
Incredibly
And he did it.
premeditated for the lengths that he had to go through just to track him down. Yeah, and yeah. But I understand that we're a country where we believe in our court system and all that. But there are times like this where I hate it. To me, it's a waste of time. But I don't ever want to be that victim that goes, if somebody will just listen to me. No, we don't have time for you in court anymore. We're above that. Yeah, I get it. You got to give the guy his due, but you also got to give it, when he's proven guilty, what he deserves. And sorry, but I'm not a life in prison kind of guy.
But we've gotten so soft.
Yeah, that's right. That's our problem.
Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is East.
Hey, East.
Hey, you guys sound like you're talking about Tolkien's Golem. You know, that Gollum was definitely bipolar, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, and it was Bilbo's mercy keeping him alive that saved the entire world. So, you know, they might be
That's right.
You know, give Smeagol a chance is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Hey, look, I wanted to ask Eddie something.
Yes, sir.
You guys were talking about jet skis earlier. I saw a thing on Facebook where he had actually lost Grantham.
Yeah.
On a jet ski. Is she still lost, or did they find her?
The problem was I should not have and no one should let women ride their jet skis.
Oh, my.
Because they have a fun, they have a good time, and then when they get out of sight, a couple of days later, they'll call you and go, hey, something went funny on your jet ski. You need to come get it. Yeah. Yeah.
Followed you home, huh?
Yeah.
But I was just worried that maybe some of that stuff was going on up in Titus. You know, the jet, unlicensed jet ski rental. Or something.
Nope, we don't have that up there. No rumors.
So is the new rule is like you have to always be within line of sight? We can call it the big back rule?
No, because honestly, that's hard too, because you see what she's doing to your stuff, and it hurts. Yeah, it's best just to have her buy her own jet ski and go away.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. Yeah.
That's what I'm working with.
There you go. Hey, you guys have a great afternoon.
Thank you, East. You too, brother.
Actually, yeah. I mean, I don't know why she wouldn't go get her own jet ski. She
does. She's got one, but you know.
But wanted to borrow it.
No, hers was broken, so she.
Okay. I wonder how that happened. So anyway, it's fascinating. Like I do like seeing JD Vance. I'm gonna play this again.
Okay.
I like seeing him make points like this as he begins his not presidential tour.
Yeah, I heard about that today with the whole.
No, he's not running. He's only focused on the midterms and the job ahead. We're only a year and a half in from. Yeah, but you kind of seem like you're on every show running, and that's fine.
That's fine. I mean,
I want you to run.
Right.
But let's listen into this again. I like that a guy running for president's making this sort of point.
Mm-hmm.
Who can look at progressive atheistic culture and say, like, for example, if you believe that Jesus is the Son of God, rose from the dead on the third day, there are a lot of progressives who will say, you're a crazy person, you believe in superstitions. And those same people will tell you that if a grown man takes some hormonal therapies that Big Pharma told them to take, that person will become a woman. It's like, actually, you believe something that's far crazier and clearly a violation of nature. And I think that there is this deep sense of purpose and meaning that everybody's seeking. And I think what's great, I mean, obviously I'm a Christian, so I'm going to say this, but what's great about Christianity is it's a healthy way to find meaning. But if you try to find all of your meaning in politics, or you try to find all of your meaning in worldly things, I think it has a very distorting effect. And again, that's like part of how I found my way back to faith. Because I was an atheist, I thought I was better than everybody, and I realized, you know what? This is actually not making me a very good person.
Or a happy person.
You know.
Yep.
Exactly right, Gutfeld, with that tag. So, by the way, the point ain't about being happy. It's one thing you learn. Now, you often will be happy.
Find joy.
Provides. You will find
at least
joy
contentment
and a lot of stuff. But that's not the point. Sometimes you are made better by the trials that you have.
Sure. But at the end of the day, if you know you're going to be better on the other side of those trials, then yeah, it's worth it. You know?
Yeah. Well, and I guess you can define happiness, but I'm in now more and more in that camp of I don't know if happiness is exactly the goal.
Think misery is your goal? Or just contempt?
No, not even content. It's like, no, I think, to put it simply, the number one goal would be to serve God.
But if that makes you happy, is that wrong?
No. But if it makes you sad sometimes, or you go through a tough trial, or you suffer in some way, does that make it wrong? No.
No.
In fact, if you sell the gospel enough, if you preach it enough, you probably should expect to suffer.
What if you suffer unnecessarily?
That's also wrong. Yeah, no, like to suffer just to suffer.
Well, I just know a lot of Christians, and there's nothing wrong with them, but I know a lot of them aren't. They're not happy with the happy religion. They feel like there has to be some suffrage in there. There can't be just We're all happy-go-lucky in the kumbaya.
I admit, maybe it's just my personality, but I think it's from my recent deep dive back into everything. Yeah, I don't. The message I'd take away from, especially the Gospels, as the fulfillment of the Old Testament, is not like sunshine and lollipop. It is like in the fullness of time.
Right.
Like Christ is already victorious in heaven. But the message often here is, think of a lot of the saints. They share in his suffering.
Yes. And
in fact, that is a reward they receive for their piety, that they're able to share in his suffering. And you think of so many of the martyrs. So, yeah, I think there is something about, you can be in the middle of something. I told this story the other day, and it's, I guess, in that 1819 News op-ed, because I was thinking about, like, legacy. And, I can remember it. It makes me so happy and consoles me. I can remember the lullaby my mom used to sing.
Mm-hmm.
But if I wanted to always be in that memory, consoled, hearing my mother's voice again and stuff, that could also be actually another trap.
Yeah, there's no growth in that.
Right. You always want to just go back to being a little boy.
I just want to go back to bed. Yeah.
And when you can remember it and you can honor it and you occasionally it consoles you, that's great. But you can't grip that consolation too much. And then, what else can you do by faith and all the great things you can accomplish in this world? But I think the best examples of building legacy often have moments of just day to day. This is not fun. Day to day.
I'm doing it.
But you keep doing it. And the example I give is, I know a man whose son was born with a deformity, with the ear was almost like the right ear almost behind the head.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that deformity now, I've learned researching it, they now have machines that gently will stretch the skin of the head to where it's now
almost back around, yeah.
But back in the 1950s, you would have to, and the father did this, stretch his son's head for a year until they could get the surgery done.
Mm-hmm.
And it broke the father's heart, broke this man's heart, seeing his firstborn son wailing as he's doing this. But he knew it was for his son's good, and all the stuff he couldn't see of what that little boy, his firstborn son, would become. It's worth all that moment of suffering. And so life's often that. You look back on that stuff, and in the middle of it, you're like, oh, just keep moving forward. And you sometimes wish, well, I wish it wasn't this way, but it is that way. And often the things that are allowed, that are trials, that's why you should give that up as a thanks as well. Anyway. Stuff I think about when I'm not talking about politics. I'll put it that way. In fact, I think about that stuff much more than politics these days.
Smart.
272-9228. 334-272-9228.
Beats worried about interest rates. Beats worried about interest rates.
Interest rates?
Those are the things that have to run through my head.
You worry about interest rates?
Yes.
Oh, I worry about stupid stuff too.
It's not stupid. That's my livelihood. Interest rates directly affect my livelihood.
You're doing all right. Eddie Bader, you could lose everything tomorrow and still be all right.
That's not the point.
No, I'm just saying I know you. Like, I think you could go dead broke and you wouldn't be poor.
I've been there enough times.
I know. Like, you'd be fine, man. And I know, like, actually that little anxiety, that worry is like what drives success in a lot of folks.
It is. It is. And that's what I honestly, talking to my shrink, she tries to put it away sometimes. I was like, that's my drive. I'm sorry. I have to, that's my drive. If I put that away, then I'll do nothing. Literally nothing.
Now, this is why you got all sensitive when we were talking about the robots. And like them taking all the jobs.
I won't want them to take my job, because you're not just a realtor. You're also a counselor, a marriage counselor, a lawn guy sometimes, a refrigerator mover occasionally, a roofer sometimes, repair guy. There's a lot of things. The counseling part, at midnight, you have to call people to talk them off the ledge because they don't want to show up for closing tomorrow.
Right. There's a lot to it. I know.
Yeah. They don't teach you that in realtor school either.
Anyway, we got to hit a break.
Yeah, it's probably a good
But
idea.
first, this is part of the program.
Yeah.
You ever talk to your therapist about that?
No, it hadn't come up yet.
How a little German boy comes out of you every once in a while?
I'm sure it will come up in the next few sessions. But she knows your name, by the way.
Yeah, she should. But at Montgomery Men's Health, they can help out you men.
Yes.
If you just don't feel yourself. Now, sometimes it can be an underlying like physiological thing.
Right.
That just ain't right. That's why you're in that mental fog. That's why you don't have that motivation. You could have something like low T. Low testosterone. It's happened to a lot of guys.
Sure
It
has.
happens naturally as you get older and in middle age, but a lot of guys, even in their 20s and 30s, are experiencing all the symptoms of low testosterone.
But they've got the fix for that, Joey.
They've got the fix over there at Montgomery Men's Health. And they can also help you if you have a more acute problem like ED or PE or, you want to just up your game. Like maybe you're doing good.
Yeah.
You just want a little bit of help, a little bit of extra edge. So getting the peptide game, like NAD Plus
great
is a
idea.
great way for energy and focus with the mind, especially mental energy and focus, or Samorlin to get your up naturally produced growth hormone up. Helps with weight loss at the gym, all sorts of stuff. So check out Montgomery Men's Health today. Just make an appointment. It's real quick. They do blood work and then a consultation. Have a whole menu of different treatments over there, depending on where you are in life and what's going on with you. And most men, like 90+% of men, respond to treatment.
Yep.
And the vast majority of those who respond to treatment are like, I wish I'd done this a year ago.
Oh, I get calls
Much
every
sooner.
day from people that say, hey, I finally listened to you guys, and I'm so glad I did.
Great. It's worth every penny, folks. So check out Montgomery Men's Health today. Just make an appointment by calling them up at 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or book online in under 30 seconds at MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. That's Montgomery Men's Health for every man in every season of life. Tell them Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
When it comes to your mortgage, who you work with matters. And this is one decision where local makes all the difference. Don't fall victim to flashy mailers, spam calls, or 1-800 lenders who don't even know your name, much less your neighborhood. Those lenders are often sitting in some faraway state, reading from a script, and chasing volume, not relationships. A local lender understands the market you live in, or should I say that we live in. At Alabama Home Mortgage, you can look at us in the eye and trust us with one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. Local lenders don't disappear after closing day. Our reputation is built right here, one family at a time. So before you pick up the phone and call a stranger, remember us, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon at Alabama Home Mortgage. You deserve guidance from someone who knows the community because they're a part of it. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a political activist. That's right, man. And could you please explain to us your red cap with the letters MMRGA? Yeah, man, this is my MARGA hat. MARGA? Yeah, man, that stands for Make My Retirement Great Again. I see. And to do that, what you need to do is call David Ernest, the asset preservationist. That's right, man. You can call David at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE. And I understand that's a toll-free number. Yeah, man. Get David Ernest on the case, and your retirement will be great again. And you make these hats? I do. Here's a whole pile left from the last administration. And they say CPWABD. Yeah, man. Corn Pop was a bad dude. And as you said, there's a whole pile here. Well, there wasn't much demand. I can dig it.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
2026 marks 60 years that hope has had a home in Alabama. At the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches, children who've lost everything through no fault of their own have found something priceless. A safe place to live, a loving Christian family, and the chance to simply be kids again. Here, boys and girls grow up surrounded by care, guidance, and faith, learning right from wrong, learning responsibility, learning they are valued and that their lives have purpose. As the Alabama sheriffs have believed for 6 decades, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women. These former ranchers are now teachers, parents, business owners, and leaders, living proof that love, structure, and faith can change a life forever. As the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches celebrate 60 years of serving Alabama's children, you can help ensure the next child has the same chance. Learn how you can make a difference at alabamasheriffsyouthranches.org. 60 years of building lives, and we're just getting started.
If you've ever wanted to be in business for yourself, but not by yourself, and didn't know where to start, Janney King Gulf Coast has already built the foundation for you. With guaranteed initial customers, hands-on training, and ongoing local support, you'll never feel like you're doing it alone, because you won't be. For over 35 years, we've helped people turn their dreams into real successful businesses. Take the next step. Discover a business built for you at JanneyKingCleans.com.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Well, hi, everybody. We are stuck in a very wet tropical pattern, including the threat of some flooding. The risk of periods of showers and thunderstorms will continue in the forecast with locally heavy downpours tonight, Thursday, Friday as well. Our weather app will keep you on top of the action with instant push notifications for flood alerts, plus radar and future radar. It's free in the App Store. Just search Rich Thomas Weather. Tonight's low 74, tomorrow's high about 87, and not much change on Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or You Don't Pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. See Jim Zeigler won?
Yeah, I did see that. I think everybody I voted for except for that race.
Yeah, Wahl won, Katherine Robertson won, and Barry Moore won.
And Triple C won.
Yeah.
Carol Cook Carter.
Yeah.
And it was a good night.
Now, to another sad sign of the times.
Yeah.
This is from futurism.com. But Generation Brain Rot. Here's the latest harrowing dispatch from the front lines of education.
All right.
As yet another higher education instructor laments that his pupils literally can't read.
That surprised me.
In a new essay for the Chronicle Higher Education, university-level literature and writing instructor Tyler Jagt, J-A-G-T?
Jag.
Just Jag? Or is it Jog?
Yeah, let's go with Jag.
Tyler Jog. But Tyler recalls how not a single one of his students could get through an assigned 20-page article, something that he had read without complaint as an undergraduate a decade ago. Yeah, it's 20-page article is easy to read. And what, is a big piece of paper too? Like, big page?
Ooh, no backlighting.
Yeah. One student confessed that the reason they didn't finish was that they kept losing track of what the paper was about.
Okay, that TikTok brain.
And there's no doubt they're not alone. JOG cites the 2024 National Assessment of Educational Progress.
Yeah.
Reading assessment results released last year. It showed that 12th grade reading scores were at the lowest level since the assessment began in 1992.
It doesn't surprise me.
Nearly a third of those 12th graders score below the assessment's basic level in reading, meaning they likely cannot draw general conclusions based on concepts presented explicitly in a text.
No comprehension.
Yeah, sometimes I think about the stuff I write, and I just write it at this point, and I'm like, oh no. Like, give it to a young person, you think. And it's like, you didn't even get the surface level.
The funny thing, you
let alone all
it,
the illusions in there and all the.
You called it a while back with the TikTok brain, and I thought you were nuts.
Nah.
But I've gone to, it's happened with me. I've gone to read a contract or something and read first page and go, I don't even know what the hell I just read.
Mm-hmm.
And I've read this contract 1,000 times. It's just got a couple different numbers in
And
it.
I'm over here starting Leviticus this afternoon, I'm being very honest, not looking forward to it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because it's a catechism of the old Jewish rituals. Like, it's not like some story where you're like, Exodus,
something you
great
can follow,
story. Like, amazing story. Book of Esther, great, amazing. Book of Daniel, amazing stories. Now, Leviticus is like, okay, so you must do this. You must bring the bull in front of the tent and slice its neck and sprinkle the blood everywhere in it. But there's reasons for reading it.
Okay. I trust you.
There's reasons for reading. If you want to understand how Jesus is the fulfillment, you might want to understand the old a little better.
Can I just accept it and move on?
You can.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Thank you.
You don't have to do that.
Thank you.
Anyway, younger children aren't better off. A recent report from Annie E. Casey Foundation found that 70% of fourth graders, or around 2 million kids, can't read at proficient level. What I am seeing in my classroom is no longer a hunch, says Jog. There is a measurable generational collapse in sustained reading and writing, and the Academy is responding to it with improvisation and exhaustion rather than the structural overhaul it requires.
But if this is from true texting, I mean, is it because you don't text in real, I guess a lot of people use abbreviations type deals, or it's not like a formal conversation? And is it so short that they have no comprehension skills? It's just 1 and 2 lines?
Yeah.
Yeesh.
And also, you're not reading anything. Like, just reading what I'm reading here on futurism.com. Like, people aren't reading as much. Or what they read is like a tweet level thing. Now, but there's a schism and there's a big chasm between, like, there are a lot of very literate folks out there. Don't get me wrong. We're the most literate than I think we've ever been.
Okay.
But when you see, like, the folks who do have the TikTok brain, who are reliant on the technology to do all that stuff, they're not able to sit and read a novel or sit and read a complicated text at all. Now, not everybody's always been able to do that.
No,
that's fine. But
numbers are still going down, I guess. So,
but pupils arriving unable to read is an increasingly common complaint from college-level educators amid the explosion of generative AI. Yeah, but how would you use generative AI well?
You're still typing and
if you don't know how to read, how are you using generative AI?
You still got to follow basic instructions, right?
Well, and also, like, it gives back what you kind of put in. Okay. So maybe it's, I fear it's leading people is what's happening. Many students treat AI as a genuine learning tool, perhaps to summarize a lengthy article they can't understand, for example, becoming reliant on its speedy responses to race through coursework. More flagrantly detrimental to learning, plenty more use the tech to generate entire essays and solve math problems, or, in a word, cheat. That many universities have partnered with tech companies to provide students with access to their shiny AI models has only served as a rubber stamp and accelerated the tech's adoption in the classroom, marooning individual instructors figure out how to work around AI on their own. Among researchers, there remains serious doubts over AI's supposed benefits as an educational tool. One of the few major studies that purported ChatGPT improved learning performance was retracted last month. But again, it's how you use this stuff.
Kind of what I'm thinking.
Like, you could use it to quickly give me, like, things, and then you go actually read the text that it's cited, for instance.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I kind of figured I'd get a general idea, but then I can dive deeper, right?
Yeah, you can't just rely on what the thing told you, though. What the AI told you. Which seems like common sense, right?
Well, world we're living in, no.
Jog cites an MIT study that found users who use ChatGPT during cognitive tasks like writing essays show lower brain activity and areas associated with creativity compared to students who only used a traditional Google search or didn't look up information at all. An astonishing 83% of the AI users couldn't quote a single line from the essays they had just written, And capstoning the alarm, the brain activity in the AI users didn't return to normal when they were later asked to write without AI.
404 not found.
But then here's the other culprit, smartphones. JOG touted a 2017 study that found simply having a smartphone physically nearby, even if it's face down or turned off, reduced available cognitive capacity and impaired cognitive functioning. Yep. So when a student tells me they kept losing track of a 20-page article, I have to acknowledge that they may be describing a measurable neurological condition, JOG wrote. The neural pathways that support sustained attention are built by use, and they atrophy without it. Your body is a use it or lose it system, and the brain is no exception. JAG, final grievance, is how the reading crisis is a structural problem. Yet institutions let it be a private burden carried by composition instructors and adjuncts. JAG explains how he had to break the 20-page article assignments into two halves and spend time modeling for students on the board how to track an argument. Well, that's bad.
Wow.
By splitting the article compromises its argument, JOG said, just as modeling note-taking in a credit-bearing rhetoric course is using a college slot to teach a middle school skill. When I assign assignments or analysis, I am not trying to exact a polished product. I'm trying to put the student's mind through resistance in order to make it stronger. Offloading the struggle to a chatbot does not free students up for a higher order work. It deprives them of building the strength to do any substantial cognitive work at all. Yeah. Well, if you're using it to do your thinking
do
for
everything,
you.
yeah, you're not thinking no more.
I mean, sometimes I write without it, and then I'll paste it in to there and be like, argue with it and tell it like, do not write for me. Do not give me editorial advice, but track the arguments. And I'm like, well, you're real dumb. You missed this, this, and this.
Those poor guys in India that are running around that warehouse,
know.
that's your AI people there. You're hurting their feelings.
Yeah, but there's ways. That's what's amazing too. Is like Elon Musk and them just showcased how their video generative model, XAI's video producer, is now soon going to be able to do movies. But it's not like, you just type in a few words and it happens. But the people that know how to do video and how are creative and artistic, they're using it incredibly. So there's two sides to a lot of this stuff. And I do worry that the average bear is, well, their cognitive faculties are being compromised. While folks who already have their cognitive faculties developed are using this to jump leaps and bounds over those former folks.
I do feel like anything that's put out internet-wise that's AI, it needs to be labeled because there's just too many people that can't tell the difference, man.
By the way, this is AI. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Get ready, Central Alabama. The biggest watermelon festival yet is happening Saturday, June 27th at Sweet Creek Farm Market. They're celebrating America's 250th birthday and all things watermelon with free admission, over 100 arts and crafts vendors, a watermelon eating contest, entertainment for the kids, food trucks, and family fun around every corner. It's Sweet Creek Farm Market's biggest arts and crafts festival ever, and admission is free. Saturday, June 27th, 10 to 4 on Highway 231 and Pike Road. Come hungry, bring the family, and celebrate summer at Sweet Creek Farm Market's Watermelon Festival.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The River Region's News Talk station. News Talk 93.1. WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Oh, welcome back. Anyway, I'm Joey. That's Eddie, who knows his flowers. What roses symbolize what?
Yeah, just the yellow rose is always a rose of friendship. The white rose has always been pure love. The red rose is love.
Is romance.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't have to go to a flower store. You didn't mess up enough in life that you had to go to the flower store a few times to get educated on roses. You never had to go in there and say, hey, ma'am, I did this. What do I need to buy? Oh, you need red roses for this one. Oh, you need white roses for this. You're in the friend zone. You need yellow roses. Nothing?
Did you also knit your own blanket that you throw over yourself on the couch?
No, my grandmother knitted that.
Well, that's adorable. I was just checking. Go to Ray. Hey, Ray, how are you?
Hey, if you mess up bad enough, a new floor can work.
There you go. I've seen it work. I've seen this work in action.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the gift they never forget.
It's true.
And listen, if you're a wife and you're struggling to, what do I get my husband for Father's Day? What does every man want? A new floor.
New floor?
They don't want a new bass boat.
No.
They don't want a shotgun. They don't want fishing gear. They don't want an ugly shirt or tie. They want a new floor.
They want a
Why
new
don't you
floor.
surprise them with a brand new floor that you really that you pick the color and the style,
Good idea,
and
Ray.
just say Happy Father's Day. You know, how can somebody complain about that?
They won't, because that's a project that he won't have to do.
Exactly. You know, for Father's Day, what I'm getting for Father's Day is a brand new floor for Emma Ruth. Yeah, my daughter. That's my Father's Day gift, and I get to rent a U-Haul tomorrow, drive it to Blue Ridge, and help install it over the weekend for
Man,
Father's Day.
That's you are so
sweet.
lucky to have that.
That's
Ray.
so sweet of her to do that for you.
I know. She's so giving. It's just the gift that keeps on giving.
Well, if you weren't doing that, what were you going to do on Father's Day besides sit around and relax and try to enjoy it anyway? So this would be much better for you.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was
Well,
gonna sit around
Ray.
and do nothing
I
all
sit around and relax in complete, total silence all the time. You're having much better of a time.
I don't think so. I really don't. But if y'all do need a floor, call us. 285-8117. We'll come out and give you that free measurement, and you'll have a floor down no time flat.
Just that simple. 285-8117, and be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles on the radio with Joey and Eddie.
And don't forget to go look at our website about how to win the $100 gift card for somebody's dad.
Not only that, the TikTok. Ray and them's got some TikToks out there. If
Oh,
you
I
need to
saw them,
laugh, that's Ray.
Chanel
Y'all's
number.
dancing moves are pretty good. I got to be honest with you. I'm a little envious.
Yeah, I got my moves from Dad, apparently.
You got some good rhythm.
He's got one more. Once it drops, it's the funniest one.
Oh, good deal. I can't wait.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know when that one actually. Emma's over all that, so I have nothing to do with it.
Well, you let her know she's doing a good job.
I will. All right, guys. Y'all have a great day.
You too, Ray. See you, brother.
Let's go to line 2. Kill some time here. I think Greg might be a little behind
Okay.
today. Hey, who's this? You're on there.
Hey, this is Sam calling from Pike
Hey,
County.
Sam.
Yeah, the reason I called, guys, in all seriousness, a tropical storm has just formed off the coast of Galveston, Texas, right there in the Gulf of America.
Yeah.
And it's increasing. Yes, it's increasing in velocity. It's got a rotation, and the good and the bad news is it's headed straight at Lake Charles, Louisiana, and that's our oil production.
Yep.
It's one of our oil production hubs. It feels like harp. Let me just cut right to the chase. It is the haters, the Trump haters. They broke out the harp. They're using the energy, the weather.
The energy weapon.
That's it. Gas prices will be up. Gosh almighty, next week. It's going to be terrible.
That means I got to fill up this weekend. No problem.
So bad. It is, man.
You bring up central banking and the protocols of Zion next. I'm going to terminate this
Sorry.
call.
Thank you for a great show, guys. I was trying to think of there was something else. The storm I wanted to bring up, though, because that was a big surprise.
Yeah, I didn't know we had anything out there. I got to watch Rich Thomas.
Oh, and I forgot to ask Ray, did he get that fox, or was it his Haitian neighbor stealing his chicken?
Oh, we forgot to follow up with him.
Yeah. What else you got?
That's it. I'm looking at beautiful Pamela right now, so that means we got to go.
But yeah, that's it. Listen, thanks for the show, guys. I wish the best for Jackson Hospital.
Me too.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, thanks, guys.
See you, bro.
272-9228 is the number if you want to join Happy Hour with Greg Vidal and Pamela. Hi. Hello, Greg. How are you?
Joey.
Man, that takes me back.
Yeah, it does.
Y'all stay tuned. They're next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy.